Okay, well, you know what? Apparently the music box just doesn't want to work, but that's okay. We don't need to know what this we don't need to know what this song is called. Songs are overrated. No, that's a stupid way of putting it. Okay, what a great introduction. Hey everybody, Sheena the Penguin, welcome back. It's been a little bit. Why am I leaning so much? What's going on? What is happening? Why is this happening? This is what happens when you don't stream for a week. It's just you lean to the left. You lean more and more. I'm caffeinated, by the way, or maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm bobinated, so I'm also very ready to talk about stuff, and yeah, I am. So let me just say, I guess. Well, I mean, if you don't know why I'm here, if you don't know why you're here, if you don't know why any of us are here, I'll be playing some American Truck Simulator. I'll be doing my series of Truckin and Yappin. I'll be talking about some random shit, but mostly be talking about my experience with Offkai that happened last weekend. Hey Gabe, what's up? Long time no see and long time no chat. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for the resub as always. Welcome. Yeah, it has been a little bit, hasn't it? I mean, generally has been a while for everybody, because I think the last time I streamed was when was the last time I streamed? I want to say it was last Wednesday. Yeah, it was when I did the, no, sorry, it was, last Monday, right, because, Rulership came out, and so I did a Rare Monday stream, and now we're doing a Rare Tuesday stream, which is crazy, because, yeah, I usually never stream on Tuesdays. This is actually usually my laundry day, but, decided to push it back because I figured I will be, I was anxious about, talking about Offkai, and I felt like if I delayed it any longer, I'd forget about shit, so I really wanted to get that going sooner rather than later. And to be honest, yesterday, there was a lot of shit that's going on right now, life stuff, so we'll see how, that goes, but I'll talk about that. There's a lot to talk about. So let's just get into it. Will I see you on soon? Oh, buddy, we will talk about that as well. But long story short is, yes, I did get tickets for both days, so I will definitely be. I will be there no matter what. It is that what is that? The Mbappe meme. I will absolutely 100% be there. There was and I guess I can talk about that a little bit. But let me jump into the game before anything. Actually, first of all, I need to load the game. I was so busy trying to figure out how my I was so busy trying to get my the music box that I normally have on my corner of my screen there, the little thing that shows like what song's playing on the spoofy. Usually, for whatever reason, it's just not working, and so I was like, okay, that's fine. Usually, I don't really need it anyway because I don't really have background music to my streams. But you know, as per usual with American Truck Simulator. Oh, it's been a while since I played this game. Oh boy. as per usual with American Truck Simulator, there's not really any background music, so I kind of had to, you know, have something here. So, fortunately, you know, if you like a song, there's always the option of Shazamming it and seeing what it is. But unfortunately, I'm not going to have the information handy for y'all here. So let me make sure before I jump into it that not going to be wrong. And the answer is it was wrong, so it's a good thing I did check. How do you stream? It's been too long. I forgot how to stream. Help. Help, I need an adult. Okay, I am an adult. I don't feel like that sometimes, but apparently I am. Okay, there we go. Let's get into it. Okay. Alright, hell yeah, I only got day 2 because day 1 is a weekday. I did notice that it was really easy, it was a lot easier to get day 1 tickets because it was a Thursday, which ended up working out for me because that was the one I was actually able to get. But yeah, it was quite a shit show. First of all, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this as a general statement, fuck AXS, or whatever the fuck that company's called. Worst ticketing system I've ever been a part of, man. It was so, I just kept getting kicked. This is my 3rd try, by the way, because I got super lucky in that I know somebody that had an Amex card. It seems like you haven't played in a while. Do you want to reset your, wait, what? No, because I know how to play this goddamn game. Don't be playing all tutorial on me. Thank you very much. Also, Emily, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Much appreciated. And, okay, well, they just got banned. Okay, wonderful. The spam bots are back at it again. Yeah, no, it was terrible, dude. Like, that was, what, last Thursday? I tried doing that, and, I just kept getting kicked out, and then eventually just thought that I was a bot, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I can't buy my tickets. And it's like, okay, well, I'll try again Monday. Monday, same thing happened, and that was actually yesterday. And I discovered that unfortunately my work Wi-Fi, my work Wi-Fi, we use like a VPN for everything, so that actually triggered also like the immediate "you are a bot, please get out" response from AXS. So I had to use my phone. I had to literally go outside my office on my phone on the 5G, the 4G 5G connection, and also I was just struggling outside, and I just kept getting kicked out anyway. So same thing happened. I'm like, well, fuck me. So I tried again today. Still kept getting kicked out. But somehow I was able to get in. Like, this was like probably like 40 minutes after the fact, and saw that there were some seats available. Actually, decently okay seats available. For day 1, so I got a P1, T1, whatever the hell those are called, the $150 one, for day 1. And I checked day 2, Friday, obviously, you know, a lot more popular, so it was a hell of a lot harder to get tickets there. But I'm gonna shout out the Uma Musume Discord, specifically the community of the Uma Musume Meet and Cosplay Discord. Super, they came in super clutch because they had a whole spreadsheet of people that were wanting to buy tickets and people that were selling their tickets. Because if you don't know, the way that VIP works and the way most of those kind of seats work is that you can't just buy one ticket at a time. You need to buy like a general number of tickets. So what ends up happening is people usually buy like multiple tickets, and then it's like, well, I don't need multiple, so they end up selling the rest that they have. And what's really nice is, you know, people sell them at face value, so you don't get upcharged. So I connected with some random dude who was selling their ticket, and so I was able to get a VIP for day 2. And I figure, you know, you only really need VIP for day 1, or you only need 1 day VIP anyway. It's like there's the only difference between the VIP and the P1 or whatever is that is pretty much just getting the items, right? That's really big thing. So I figured I don't need 2 copies of the items. I might as well just do it one day, and then the other day I can just kind of get a good enough seat anyway from P1. But it was actually a pretty good seat. It's right in the aisle. I think it was like row U or whatever, so it is a little farther back, but honestly I think it's better being a little bit farther than like being right up there. It might be a bit too close. Let's actually drive. What am I doing? Anyway, ooh. Yeah, I know they have updated this game a lot since I last played. Oh, time to look outside the window. Whoa, time to look outside. I mean, that's been a thing for a while. Sorry, I'm behind on chat. Hold on one second. Let me scroll up a little bit. I only got got the ticketing buying was horrendous for pre-sale. The general somehow easier. Yeah, I think it's just because they had a really limited number of seats available for pre-sale, so I think that was kind of a little bit better in trying to get the seats there. Screw AXS, 100%. Fuck them. I remember they were also in charge of like the Miku Expo or whatever, and I was actually interested in maybe getting a ticket there, but then I also had the same issue. Not so much of getting kicked out, but like more so like trying to pick a seat, and then it's like, oh, sorry, the seat is taken, and then it's just like, well, fuck me, just give me a seat already, and then I just gave up because I was like, well, I don't really love Miku that much, so I didn't end up getting that. I got lucky 40 minutes into the pre-sale when a seat magically appeared. Dang, that's pretty neat. Glad you got your tickets. Can't leave a single stranded seat. Yeah, it's I mean, I guess that kind of does work out because, you know, then people can sell their, but it also kind of does suck too because then it's like people just kind of buy more, and then if they're shitty, they'll try and upcharge you. But luckily, I think again, shout out to the UMA community for being super chill and like for the most part, like, you know, being able to provide fellow Umadachis with tickets and such. So very happy that that all worked out in the end. I am definitely hundreds of dollars short, which is not great considering Offkai also put me a couple $100 short, and also the fact that I am going to be moving in approximately 3 weeks, which is also going to be a little bit of a cost, but that's fine. We'll, and I'll talk about why that's fine later, but I'm so excited. I can't believe Natsuyoshi is going to be there despite Shuval not being Global Uma. That is honestly pretty awesome. I think it helps that she was a part of Season 3, like Shuval, so I think there's a little bit of exposure there. But I am a little surprised, given that most of the cast that's going to be there is mostly comprised of Global. But that's awesome. I mean, I kind of wish. I mean, my pipe dream was Ines was there, but like she is, other than like maybe the also, this song's terrible. Other than the Nigegiri, the Runaway Sisters, and the the DYI scenario, there's not really any songs that she's kind of sorry, I was like, oh, this song. She's not really featured in. Okay, let's actually do a job. We're in good old sunny Los Angeles. You know, something I wanted to do was, yeah, let me get a job for San Jose, because it's like simulating the drive from LA to San Jose, which is honestly something that I thought about doing, but then I decided to take a plane. But let me tell you, I kind of regret not driving up to San Jose because I had such limited space in my luggage that I really could not buy as much of the stuff as I wanted to, so I was a little bit kind of bummed out about that. But let me see, do we have anything that goes to San Francisco, I guess, but is there anything that goes to San Jose? No, I guess I can just, I'll take the San Francisco job, sure. Where is it? Right there. This one, yeah, let's take that one. Okay. I'm seated in Orchestra Row FF. That's pretty good. I mean, honestly, any of the orchestra seats are pretty good, so I think you should be good no matter what there. But yeah, it's I'm excited. I'm definitely very excited. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to meet up. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that in the community that are going to be there, obviously, because it's a once in a lifetime thing. So very excited to do that. And then also apparently I think that same weekend there's going to be something happening at Santa Anita, the racetrack over there, so gonna absolutely be a pretty packed weekend then. But yeah, we'll have fun with that. They're so gonna sing Be Their Beloved. I'm so ready to learn all the light sync movements. Ah yes, time to learn all the wotake. I'm gonna have to look into that. Apparently there's not really... Uma is not a very wotake heavy, I guess, franchise from what I've heard, so that kind of helps with regards to not having to memorize many, but definitely need to take a look into that before... And we have time. I mean, this whole thing is gonna be like October, like it's late October, so we got like... Actually, that's not really a lot of time, that's only 3 months, but it's still some time to kind of look into that. Oh yeah, I saw the Offkai finals and saw it was a close between the Machitan and Ines, but Machitan took it. Funny you say that, I was actually there in the crowd. Yeah, it was really close. So yeah, it turns out I kind of overestimated the fact that the people competing in that, some of them are actually like literal like esports people, so I never stood a chance of actually making it to the finals. So my experience with the UMA competition, I actually did win my first match, which was kind of nice, but then it all went downhill from there as I did not win the other two matches. And the way that it works, I guess, if you're curious, is that it's a double elimination, kind of, I guess, Swiss format, if that means anything to y'all. For all y'all esports people out there, it didn't to me. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but yeah, it's basically like a double elimination thing. It was yeah, it was, and I thought it was fair. I wasn't like, oh god, it's like, oh man, that's I got shafted or whatever. Like, honestly, like, even if I did get like favorable matchups, I still probably would have gotten my ass beat somewhere down the line. So I'm not really too salty about that. These people are actually, is this the right? Oh wait, ah shit, nope, gotta go around. But no, it was very hype. Actually, a little bit of the reason why I didn't stream on Monday was because I was still recovering voice-wise. I screamed so much watching that, and my voice on Sunday was completely shot. Like, like, when I woke up, I can barely speak. I was able to recover a little bit, thankfully, so, you know, be able to actually talk to people, which is good because I will say that one of the most, I guess, common themes about Offkai overall was that it was, honestly... okay, I'll say this. Offkai, definitely the best convention I've been to this year. And I guess I shouldn't say I've been to many, but I've been to a few at this point, right? I've been to one day of Anime Los Angeles. I've been to... oh, shit. I've been to Offkai... or, yeah, obviously Offkai. I've been to Fanime, and then I went to AX. And I think for now, I think that's pretty much going to be it for me this year in terms of conventions, unless something else happens to pop up, but... I think I'm all conventioned out. Also, my money. Also, yeah, also my wallet is still, honestly, still recovering from AX. AX wasn't even that long ago, so I'm just slowly trying to regain all my finances. It also didn't help that I actually had to reschedule my flight, or I pushed back my return flight from San Jose like an hour or 2 hours, because originally I was supposed to be scheduled to fly back 4 p.m. like right, and that was kind of cutting it close in terms of when the convention ended, but I figured there wasn't going to be anything like really worth staying all the time for. And then they announced that the UMA cosplay meetup was Sunday 2:30 to 3:30, and I was like, well shit, I guess I have to go to that. So I literally had to reschedule my flight, which was about like, I want to say like a few days before it happened, so I had to pay a pretty penny to reschedule the flight. I'm not going to say how much, I'm just going to say it was definitely in the hundreds of dollars. So yeah, that was a big yikes, but I still think it was worth it. I don't regret doing that. What I do regret is not initially getting the 6 p.m. flight instead of the 4 p.m. flight, but that's a mistake on my part, and I think I'll just have to take that as a learning experience. But dude, Offkai, if you haven't been to Offkai, and if you have like any slight interest in VTubers, like, and you don't even have to be like a big fan, but if you have like any slight interest, I would highly recommend going. Like, even for me, somebody who is admittedly kind of a VTube fan LARPer, like, I don't really watch that many streams. I like kind of barely know like kind of a few. I know of famous, you know, like obviously the Hololives, the Indies, all those, but like, and you know, the company that must not be named, but I don't, you know, I've seen a few clips occasionally, but I definitely would not consider myself to be I don't even think I would really consider myself to have an Oshi, to be honest. If anybody asked, I think the closest would maybe be like maybe Henya, but I haven't watched anything from her in like a long time, so I feel like I'm kind of a faker in that regard. Just look for a guy in a casual cheval fit. Is a high probability it'll be me. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people, so you know it might be kind of hard, but I'll definitely keep my eye out for any. And that also kind of brings the point of I'm considering whether or not I want to cosplay. But I feel like that might be a bit too sweaty, but I don't know. Maybe I might just do like a casual thing, like get the Ines weight going, and like maybe do like the ramen scenario, which is what I did for Sunday. It's a kind of nice casual one. Maybe not the school uniform. I feel like that's a little bit too much, not too much effort per se, but a little bit too much maintenance, I guess. But yeah, no, Offkai, great, awesome, very fun. I guess we're going the truck route because this is my only option. Wee woo, wee woo. Okay. But yeah, Offkai. What can I say? I see. This is why I probably should have taken notes about what I was gonna say, because now I'm just like, oh god, what? I definitely had stuff to say, obviously, but now I'm just like, I think between the sugar rush of the boba and just the general, not general lack of sleep, but I definitely have not been getting as much sleep as I should be, because of really just me. It's honestly my fault, if I have to be honest. I have been playing Hollow Live Dreams, which is the new rhythm, the new hotness, the new rhythm game. So slowly getting back into a rhythm game, I guess. Which it's been decent so far. I wouldn't say it's been amazing, honestly. Like, I think I agree with a lot of the common complaints that the story is pretty bad, honestly. But, I mean, the gameplay is good. The rhythm gameplay is good. I do appreciate the fact that there are other mini-games that you can do. And I still haven't unlocked everything yet, so I can't say anything about, like, some of the other kind of, like, the Fall Guys and, like, the poker ones. But I have had fun experiences with, like, the few stuff that's been there. Got stuff to do, just popped in just to catch up. See you next time. All good. Appreciate you stopping by anyway, Gabe, and hope to see you again in the next one. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. I don't remember what day it was. Yeah, but yeah, no, I've I've been staying up. Well, it's that plus the fact that I've been so busy with trying to find a place to move and all the other kind of shenanigans that's been going on with my life. But luckily, I think I found a good place. And there's a whole another story involved with the shenanigans. Oh God, wait, hold on. Turn on your lights, you idiot. There we go. I need to find a rest stop because I don't like driving at night. Actually, no. Let's do some night driving. Let's get this going. Also, the fact that I think I cannot. Also, I think how much hours? How? Oh yeah, 'cause I need to do this. I need to do this in the night. I kind of fucked up there. Okay, that's probably fine. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Where should I start? I guess I can start from similar to what I did with my Anime Expo and Fanime recaps. I can kind of go day to day and just kind of talk about experiences and stuff, and anything that pops up in my mind will pop up in my mind. But I guess I can just kind of go general kind of overview of the shit that I did and all that fun stuff. So Friday comes along. I had to wake up super early because I made the great decision of deciding to fly over there on the Friday morning. And so I had to wake up at, I think, like 5 a.m. to catch my flight, which was unfortunately at LAX, which, if you don't know, LAX is a hellhole of an airport, and I hate it so much. I would much rather go to one of the other airports that it's a bit more closer to me, but unfortunately, as you can probably expect, it's definitely a lot smaller, so there's a lot less options. So unfortunately, I'm a bit limited in my just getting to be able to use that. Having said that, mostly smooth flight, other than the fact that it was early in the morning, was able to get to San Jose pretty easily. The nice thing about the hotel that I got was that it was really close to the airport, like literally like maybe not even a 5-minute drive, so took an Uber over there. This was like probably at this point maybe like 9 a.m., which check-in I think was like 3 p.m., and that's usually standard for most flights, or not flights, hotels anyway, so I went to the checkout desk, dropped off my stuff, and I was about to drop off my bags. I was like, hey, can I drop off my bags? And they're like, yeah, because I mean, I don't know any hotel that wouldn't do that. I can't imagine. It's like, nope, you can't do that. It's like every time I've had to do that, they've been like, yeah, sure, just, just like, here's your tag, okay, come back later. And so I had to go to the this is so scuffed because I went to the hotel bathroom in the lobby to change into my cosplay because I didn't wear it. Because I didn't want to be that guy wearing like a red tracksuit and stuff, so which was my Friday cosplay. If you didn't know that, I cosplayed Ines all 3 days of the convention. I had the same wig, same all that, but I did wear different clothes. So Friday was the school uniform. No, sorry, Friday was the tracksuit, the not Tracin track the Tracin tracksuit. I put that in air quotes because it's a knockoff, but Trayson's school uniform was a Saturday, and then Sunday was the ramen festival, or the ramen scenario outfit, which I figured I planned it like that just because I knew that Friday and Sunday were going to be a bit harder for me, given that Friday I'd have to change into the outfit, and Sunday I had to change out because I'd be flying out that same day. So I was like, okay, well, let's make the school uniform one Saturday, because that's going to be a lot harder to try and change in and out of. But did all that, got the cosplay all good there, and then headed over because the hotel was close to the airport, but the unfortunate part was it was a little bit further. It wasn't in this hotel block that the convention had, so I had to take the train over, which honestly it wasn't really that bad. It only took like maybe, like, apparently according to Google Maps it was supposed to take like 30 minutes, which was like, oh, that might be a bit iffy, but I think that's more so just includes the time that it takes to wait for the train, because admittedly it did take a little bit between trains, given that I think it was like the weekend service was running trains at a slower rate. But if you got a train pretty quick, like, it only took like maybe 15 minutes to get over there, so I was actually not pleasantly kind of surprised at that. But I did that, got over there, and had to wait in oh my god, the registration slash checkout line. One of the few complaints I had about the convention was it was so long. Granted, it still moved pretty quick, but the fact that it wrapped all the way around the South Hall meant that I still had to wait like 40 minutes to get my badge and get all the kind of the registration there, which I wish they did it in the way that they did it with Fanime, where you just had to go and scan like a QR code and then, you know, be able to kind of get that easily. Whereas with Offkai, it was a little bit more time consuming because you had to hand them the, I guess, your registration, not registration, your ID, which I guess if you're in California, they can just scan that, or they just like barcode scan it and it's like, okay, there it is. But if not, then you have to like manually put in the information. So I guess that's why it takes a lot more time sometimes. So I did all that fun stuff waiting in line. Luckily, I didn't have anything really until Artist Alley opened, which on that day, I think it opened at 11. So even then, I think after waiting in line, I had to wait in another line to get into the Artist Alley, where I ran into my first kind of group of people who we talked Uma, and they gave me like a kind of a nice badge. But that was fun, you know, got to chat, and that kind of, again, slowly became kind of the overarching theme, where it was just really nice just talking to people, like just talking to random strangers. Like, I talked to random people on the way to the convention, like at the train station. I was talking to somebody walking from the station to the hotel. Like, we hit up a nice conversation. They were complimenting my cosplay. I complimented their I guess they were wearing like the Momo ears or whatever. They had the headband, the Matara Khan one. So I was talking about that, and then we were talking about just general stuff and convention, and it was really nice. Everybody was super awesome to talk to. The vibes of Offkai are very immaculate. I think it's really, it's just, from just the people to the kind of the unplanned hangouts, everything about it was just very nice. Like, even some of the, and admittedly I didn't go to any of like the, I guess, like quote unquote park con or any of the kind of unofficial kind of like late gatherings, but from what I've heard and the little snippets of what I've seen, it all seemed like pretty nice, like comparably to like something like Fanime, where it kind of got a little bit too chaotic. And same with kind of like AX's like Midnight Mahjong Takeover, where it ended up kind of being less Midnight Mahjong, more kind of just like Weston spillover, people just kind of partying and kind of ruining the whole concept of that. I think Offkai was kind of nice, whereas like it kind of kept the same dynamic of what it was originally supposed to be with those late night gatherings. So I think that's the vibes were good there. But yeah, waited in line, got Artist Alley. What else did I do Friday? Friday was the meet and greet that I did. So I'm not really one for like meet and greets and signatures and stuff, but I figured I might as well have tried to go for one. Excuse me. So I actually was able to snag a meet and greet with Henya, and this was when I think they just opened up for like general, because I wasn't able to get a lottery. So I literally, I think, because it opened up like like a random Monday, like 5 p.m. my time, and so I was on the site, like the registration site or whatever, and I was just like, okay, I am ready. Like I am, as soon as it hits 5, I'm gonna hit refresh, and it's gonna show up, and it did, and everybody was there, and so I clicked on Henya first thing, and I was just like, bam, and then I got it, and I was like, holy shit, this is the first time in my life where something that sold out within like a minute I was actually able to get. Is this what it actually feels like? It was a good feeling. So I did that, and that was actually pretty awesome. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I did something before that, because that was like later in the, not evening, but later in the afternoon, because that happened like probably like 4 or 5 p.m. I feel like there was definitely stuff I did before then, and now I'm kind of blanking. Did I go to a panel? I don't think so. I think it was mostly just kind of walk around Artist Alley. Oh, I remember what I did. I remember. I had to check in. That's what I did. Yeah, so I did a whole bunch of kind of exploring Artist Alley, doing some general kind of first purchases and stuff for stamp rallies. I did participate in a stamp rally for what it's worth. I did the, what is it, the V Shoujo over stamp rally. You know, gotta represent the girls. So that was good. Got some stuff from that. Walked around some of the exhibition hall, which it was crazy walking around the exhibition hall and seeing the number of meet and greets that were happening. It was an insane number. Is this not my exit? It's not my exit. This is my exit. Confused there for a second. Like that was also kind of a general theme I noticed, is that there was just a whole bunch of meet and greets, which was honestly awesome. I think I saw on Twitter there were like, what, 900 VTuber meet and greets overall, which is insane number. Maybe someday I might be famous enough to do one of those, but yeah, it was fun nevertheless. So I did that kind of until the time of check-in for my hotel. Checked into my hotel, went to my room, did a little bit of a kind of chill for the most part, and then hopped over to back to the convention center to line up for the Henya meet and greet, which unfortunately was a little delayed because of technical issues. But you know, honestly, that was pretty fine, because again, got to chill and sit down a little bit and talk random shit with some of the people that I was standing in line with, which was also pretty awesome. So, and then eventually when I did get to my turn, it was awesome. You know, Henya was really awesome. She was super sweet. She complimented my Uma cosplay, which was really awesome, so we got to talk a little bit about that. What I didn't know was that she actually was a fellow Day 1 JP player, so I asked her what her favorite Uma was, and she was like, oh, Tama, and I'm like, oh, nice, Tama Mocross, nice. And then unfortunately my time was up, because you only get 1 minute for the meet and greets, I think, at least for most of them. And it's not really that much time, like 1 minute goes by pretty quick, so you only get so much to talk about. But it was good. Got to you know, she was like, oh, how's your con been? And I was like, oh, it's good. My feet hurt, but not as much as it's probably going to be for you, which was supposed to be a reference about the fact that her panel was her doing like a ring fit adventure again. So that was a pretty fun chaos, which I did go to. I went to that directly after the meet and greet, because I was lining up for that. But it was good. It was good. And then, yeah, after that, I actually was able to ask her a question during the panel, and I was kind of did a follow-up question. It was like, oh, what's your favorite Uma song? And then she was like, oh, she's like, I don't know if this is out in English yet, but it's the one that goes da 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 da. I was like, oh, Trace Nondo. And it's like, yeah, Trace Nondo. So, I guess fun fact for all y'all out there: Henya's favorite Uma is Tamamo Cross, and her favorite Uma song is Trace Ondo. So, I don't know, put that in the trivia sheet somewhere, I guess, if you're curious about that. So, but. Yeah, that was good. And then directly after that ended was when the Yabai market opened, which is, I guess, the 18 plus kind of section, kind of a smaller area for artists, as well as some, I think like 2 or 3 booths, exhibition booths, like Jast and stuff. So I will say the funny story about that is, I didn't know that there was actually a huge line waiting for that, so I actually kind of unknowingly cut the line. Nobody called me out on it, though, so I will say, nobody called me out, nobody stared at me. I was looking around, I was like, is this correct? And I was like, okay, sure, it looks correct, okay, I guess I'll just stand here. And then it's just like, I found out that, holy fucking shit, hold on, pause. Oh my god, bro, I hate that. God, okay, that is the third one I saw today of that, of that, shenanigans. What is with all the spam today? Jeez, okay, oh, you know what? It might be because I have just chatting as my one of my stream tags. That might be the reason why I'm getting all these the messages about like, oh hey dude, I've been a huge fan, and it's like, great. Name one thing about me. Other than my appearance, obviously. Anyway, I don't know. It's whatever. I don't care. I don't care too much. It's funny that the dichotomy between like the experiences what I had, like, you know, as somebody who didn't really leave the house, with all the kind of like the a majority of my followers being bots, let's be completely honest, and all the messages that I get being bot messages and stuff. In terms of DMs, I'm not talking about chat. Obviously, you know, I have real life human chatters. That's I appreciate people like Gabe and Yamanin and all those, and some of the other kind of frequent people. So definitely appreciate y'all if you're out there. But so I was expecting, I don't know really what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting too much. But again, just like all the people that I was around at Offkai were just so awesome to be around, and this is just all, I just loved it. It was such a great environment. Like 100% am going to go to the next one, which I saw that it was announced for a much earlier time next year. I saw that it was what, mid-April, so honestly, I think that's a little bit better in terms of like weather, but I do feel for the people who are like in school and stuff who won't be able to kind of do that, or like, you know, people who expected that it was going to be also July again, and then it's just like, well, okay, I guess we have to schedule for something that's going to be way sooner. But I think I think it's going to be good. But no, I think I'm definitely 100% going to buy tickets. Going to try and plan that out a little bit earlier so I can get the I turned off my vehicle. I turned off the decouple. What the heck? Okay, I'm an idiot. It's this one. It's been a while since I played this game. I'm just gonna. That's my excuse. Oh shit! I need my cargo. Excuse me. It's not that one. It's this one. Okay, this is the engine off button. This is the decoupling button. I just gotta remember that. Okay. But no, 100% gonna go again next year, and I think I'm gonna drive, so I can not have to worry about luggage. And honestly, for the time frame, like between like trying to get back home from the airport, it's not gonna be that much time of a time difference. Like I would have probably gotten home maybe like an hour later if I had driven, which really says a lot. So, you know, despite how short the flight time is, so take that for what it's worth. But oh, trailer damage, schmaler damage. Okay, maybe this isn't the play. Maybe this is not the way to go. That's fine. Oh, that's a lot of damage actually. What the heck? A lot more than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah. This is how you do it, right? But yeah, back to what I was talking about with the Yabai market. So yeah, I apologize to any of the people that I may have cut in line. I did that again unwittingly or unknowingly, but hopefully y'all were able to get in, because yeah, the line to get in was very, very, very brutal. I heard it took like, honestly, like maybe like close to an hour to get in. So I got super lucky that it only took me 10 minutes. I feel bad, I really do, but it was good. It was again, similar to what Fanmade had with its night market and Anime Expo with their 18+ section. It was definitely a lot of the booba and the P9 and all that stuff. So very, very good stuff. I did end up getting the very famous Pippa Dojin that made the rounds recently, which actually, funny story about that was that I shouldn't say funny, it's not really a funny story, but the funny thing about that was I remember seeing that at the Fanime, not night market, but the, what is it called? It was their Dojin event. I don't remember what it was called now, but it was, I don't remember the exact name, but it was their Dojin event that they did in the same area as the night market. Which, speaking of which, I really do think they need to do more of that stuff, like Dojin events and stuff. The people yearn for Dojins. Like, I bought a whole bunch of kind of like art books and stuff, and like, I guess Dojin-y stuff during this Offkai. Maybe not a lot, but I did buy at least more than 2. I think I bought like 4, so... And I was always on the lookout if anything looked good in terms of like art and like story and stuff. I'll be like, yeah, let's get this Dojin. The people yearn for Dojin events, American Dojin events. They really want that shit. I mean, maybe I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I feel like the demand for that is definitely there, and I definitely want it. So you know, it's pencil me in as a +1 there. But yeah, night market was good. And then after that, I think I was honestly tired from waking up at 5 a.m. So then I was just like, okay, let's just go back to our hotel and crash, and then proceeded to not sleep until like 12 a.m. I think, because I was like, ah, fuck it. Continue. Okay, I should probably 1 sleep and 2 in the game. I mean, not real life. Yeah, the stream's over, everyone. Have a good night. No. No, I should find a rest area, which I guess is right here. And then I need to maybe, and then we can go around San Jose, and then I can be like, oh, the convention center, this is where I was at, and then be all like, ha ha ha, fun times. Yeah, we can do a little bit. We don't have to do jobs. We can just do a nice little bit of free driving, as the game calls it. So that was day 1. Day 1 was very, even though it was only the first day, and you know, it felt like, you know, a whole fever dream. It was definitely pretty eventful still. So very, very fun stuff. But Saturday was the main draw for Saturday for me was the UMA competition, the e-sporting competition, which again I didn't have much expectations going in, and definitely kind of met those expectations anyway. But it was still honestly pretty fun. What did I do before? I feel like I did something before that, but I think it was also just, I think it was more the same of just kind of exploring R-style, because that's usually what I kind of defaulted to doing anyway. So it was good. But the competition itself, it was funny because the initial rounds were just people just gathered together, and then everybody was just trying to find whoever they were matched up with. So it was just like people being like, hey, is blank here, blank, where are you? So it was just like me trying to do that. And it's like, oh, hello. It's like, Pancake Eater, where are you, Pancake Eater? That's not their actual name, or like that's not a name, but I'm just like trying to give an example. So it was like kind of stuff like that, and then people hosted matches kind of, and then would announce their results. And as I mentioned earlier, I did win the first one, and that kind of gave me some hope. And that, oh, okay, I was like, vehicle damage 11%? Are you kidding me? Because I think I started with 8%, so that actually isn't that much. But then again, hold on, I might have to. Let me go back real quick. I think I need to fix up my vehicle to be 0%, because otherwise I won't be able to quick teleport if it's over 10%, and it's already kind of iffy right now. So let me just do that again. Hey, I'm back. I know I just got all that fixed up, but I would like to I'd like to get a whole new vehicle, please. Wait, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I accidentally did service recommendations. Yeah, I would like a new vehicle, please. Thank you. I know I wasn't that bad, but like I'd rather have the new vehicle so I don't have to, and then hopefully not worry about, hopefully not crash my vehicle too much this time. Although with my driving style, that's not really a given. This one. Okay, there we go. But it was good. It was good. The competition, and then after that, it was a little bit until the finals, which they did broadcast the finals. I think they actually did broadcast the finals on Twitch, for what it's worth. So that was and the competition, the crowd was very very into it, myself included. As I mentioned, I did scream so much that I think I lost my voice the next day. I mean, I don't think, I know I lost my voice the next day. Oops, I passed the rest station. One of my biggest gripes, though, was that, my god, the freaking first set of announcers, I should say first, because the second set, which I think was like Jsu, who's pretty well known as like Uma dude, him, and I don't remember the second guy, but they at least pronounced the names correctly. But I forgot this is a thing. I can set the number of hours. I can set the number of hours that I can rest, which is very nice. Right, okay, let's just do 10 hours. That is a nice change. I do like the fact that you can customize the number of hours now. Not that it really matters, because I turned off all kind of like notifications in terms of violations and stuff because it was just getting annoying. Should say a lot more than anything. But yeah, no, the first set of announcers just kept pronouncing Ines as Ines, and it was just so annoying to me. Here's the thing, I totally get people, because people... Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. A lot of people complimented my cosplay, like, even more, probably, like, within the first day of Fanime, or, sorry, the Offkai, was probably more compliments about my cosplay than all the days of Anime Expo combined. And I don't think that's not an exaggeration, that is actually true. So, again, very good vibes. I think that's the general theme, but... You know, there'd be people that's like, there were some people that were like, oh, nice Uma cosplay. There were some people that were able to recognize that was Ines, and those were the people that I gave the ribbon to, that I had the badge ribbon. Which, if you haven't seen that, I think it's on my Twitter somewhere. The badge ribbon that shows number 2 Ines Fujin fan, which I wasn't able to hand out as much of those as I wanted to. I still have quite a bit of stock, so I'll be able to hand those out in future events and conventions later down the road. Same with my business card. I didn't really hand out my business card that much, but I didn't want to force that issue, so I figured let's just keep it chill for the most part. I don't know where the hell I'm going, by the way. I actually want to go to San Jose. Here I come, San Jose. Here I come, San Francisco. Where the hell am I going? Oh, I'm going this way now, okay. Sure, I guess. Where is anything? Where's the convention center? That's my question, actually. I don't know. Guess we can do this instead. Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay. But yeah, every time the announcers mispronounced Ines, I would just scream Ines, and I think after like the 14th try, they finally heard it, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, boss, Ines," and it's just like, oh my gosh. But again, like I was saying, I understand why. I understand people pronouncing her Ines because that is technically the correct pronunciation of that name. But the Japanese way they pronounced it is Ines, so like you'd figure that. But there were a few people that did call me Ines, and I don't correct people, which is maybe I should start correcting people, but I don't want to be that guy and be like, actually it's Ines Fujin, get it right. I don't really do that because I'm like, oh sure, whatever. Like it's kind of the same thing with like a lot of the people I talk to. In fact, that first group of people that I talked to when I was lining up for Artist Hour on Friday, they kept calling Takio and Agnes, and I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, I was I was taking psychic damage, but I wasn't gonna correct them because I don't want to be that guy, right? But man, the amount of psychic damage I took from that was quite a bit. Let's just say that. But generally I just try to be pretty chill with it, right? But at the end of the day, also it's just like they call her Takio, they call her Urara, they call her Scarlet, which I know a lot of people call her Daiwa. I feel like that one's a little bit more acceptable though, because none of the other there are no other Daiwas in the cast right now, at least. I mean, there is Daiwa Major as a pretty good Uma, or a pretty good horse, I should say, that could be an Uma Musume someday, but still has not been Uma Musified, whatever, Umafied, I guess that's the right term. So they haven't done that yet, but that's a potential. It's also just annoying because, like, with Takio at least, because there is another Agnes. There's Agnes Digital. I also realize, and I've already realized this kind of before, but I really should just say Ines Fujin's full name instead of just calling her Ines, because there's been a good number of people that think that I'm saying Agnes instead of saying Ines. Ines, Agnes, I don't know. So it's just like, I guess the way I speak makes it sound like I'm saying Agnes, but no, I'm saying Ines. Anyway, so other than that though, it was very good, and as Gabe mentioned, yeah, surprisingly, a Tannhäuser did win the overall competition, so I'm very happy about that. And second place was Ines, so I'm glad that they used the Tokyo Nippon Derby track for the race, because that opens up a lot of potential contenders instead of just like being ex-Oguri or whatever, which there was a good number of ex-Oguris, I will say that, and also some debuffers. I will also mention that, which were booed accordingly. No, maybe not booed accordingly, but jeered at by the crowd, myself included, because man, debuffer strat is not my favorite. So, but no, it was good. It was good. Very, very fun stuff, and got got a little taste of what the UMA esport was like. Because as much as I play UMA, I don't think that was the first time I was a part of something that was kind of like what I guess is considered kind of the esports, right? Like a competition, like a straight up like kind of serious competition. So it was very fun. Also at the end of it, they did do a performance, and I should put that in air quotes because the person who won was definitely not prepared to do it, so they were just standing there awkwardly at the stage, and I was just like, do something, dance, anything. They played Miss Victoria in the background, and it was just nothing. So yeah, I understand, right? Like, you're probably more, oh shit, what are you doing? You're probably more, hello, oh okay. You're probably more prepared to just like actually prepare in the competition. What is this guy? Hello? What are we doing here, buddy? What are we doing? What is the plan? I know I'm also to blame, but also, what was the plan there? Oh, Gish Road. Wait, Gish Road. Hold on a minute. Gish, fuck. I know Gish. Gish was the station that and I guess I can say that because like there are so many hotels in the area, so I'm not really doxing myself. But Gish was the stop that I got off on from my hotel, so... Damn, that's crazy. Wait, if this is Gish, then the convention center might be that way, actually? Wait, where am I going? Oh, well, that was my fault. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, this is Gish. Wait, what? I'm confused. I'm confusion. Wait, what? Hello, Mr. Police. Hello, Mr. Police Officer. I think I'm going the wrong way. Which way am I going? This is... Wait, if this is Gish, then this would be probably where the convention center is. Okay, so I'm going the wrong way. Well, that's a load of, that's a whole bunch of bologna sandwiches if I've ever seen one. I'm just gonna go ahead and go around. I don't know, is the convention center in this game? I think it is. Maybe not. Maybe I'm doing a futile effort, and it's just gonna be a whole bunch of nothingness as I, futilely make my way over. But I might as well try. But yeah, after the UMA competition, what did I do? I feel like... What did I do? God. Oh, right. You know what I ended up doing? I just went back home. Because... Or not, sorry, not home. I went back to the hotel. Yeah, I went back home. I gave up. I just flew back to SoCal. Because I said, fuck this convention. No, I'm just kidding. I went back to the hotel because I was way too sweaty. And I figured, man, I just need to change out of my cosplay. I was like, maybe I might be a bit stinky too. So I was just like... I was debating doing... Because the last thing that I wanted to do on that Saturday was the Anikura dance rave party thing, which looked pretty interesting. So I decided, and I wanted to initially be in my cosplay for that, but then I figured that would be a horrible idea because I'd probably get really sweaty, and I already was sweaty anyway from general walking around the convention. So took a shower, changed out of my outfit, ended up wearing my Ines outfit, which in this case was like the Ines shirt that I have, along with wait, what? Wait, where am I going? Wait, what the heck? Where is this taking me? Oh no, this is right. Wait, is this? Wait. No, it isn't. Is it? No, I'm going to Saint... Why am I going to Saint... Wait, what the fuck? Where are you taking me? Why am I going this way? Why am I going all the way around? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go all the way around, I guess. I was gonna be like, this is very rural. This is definitely not San Jose anymore. But yeah, I, went back, did some chilling, went back to the convention center, waited until the dance party started, and can I just say... Man, I don't know. Maybe I just got there too early, but that was one of the most awkward DJ sets that I went to in my life. Granted, I haven't been to very many, but it definitely takes the cake for one of the most awkward ones I've been to, because it was literally just kind of in the... let me just go. Hold on. I have an opportunity here. It was just a whole bunch of people just standing around while the DJ was trying to get everyone hyped, and there were a few people doing like Wotage and stuff, trying to get in the mood. But it was just, it just reminded me of like an awkward like middle school dance party where it's just like people were just randomly standing there, just like trying to I don't know, just standing there, not even dancing, not even doing anything. And I just had to note myself out after 10 minutes and then just immediately went back to my hotel room. So that was a little bit disappointing. I will say, I think that was probably just because, again, I do think that a little bit of that was just because it was way too early. So I did see that it did get a lot hyper kind of later, and I say way later. I think this was probably like 10, 11, maybe like right around the time the Offkai concert, the live concert or whatever ended, because I think people spilled over from that and went over to the dance party. And I kind of wish I stayed a little bit longer, but at the same time I was just like really freaking tired, so I just decided to call it a night. And then get ready for shenanigans that were going to happen on Sunday, which Sunday really was just kind of more last minute buying of stuff, completing the stamp rally, seeing if there are any last minute deals, also trying to see or debate with myself whether or not I wanted to get a cardboard cutout, which a lot of the booths were selling their cardboard cutouts for auction. So I was just like, which again, I didn't have any room given that I only had my carry-on, and most of the, and I do know that some of the standees do fold up, but even then it's just like, I barely had enough room between all the cosplays I was bringing and all that stuff, so it was not really an option. And one of the standees that I actually was really interested in was from an artist that I actually... What did I hit? What? I just hit an invisible wall. Excuse me? Wait. Actually, what did I hit? I hit nothing there, and then I can proceed to go through. Okay, well, fuck me. Yeah, one of the standees that I was interested in, which honestly I'm really glad that I didn't get it because it started off hella expensive. Not trying to call out the artist or anything, but when most of the standees start at like $50 and then you start your bidding at what, like 300, 200, it's like something, I don't know about that one, Chief. Like, that seems like a bit inflated. Granted, there were still people that went above that. I think it ended, I don't know what it ended at. I think it ended at like 300, 400. But even then, I was legitimately considering it because I did really like the art. This was a artist that I saw at AX that had a really nice doki. That I don't even watch Doki. I only know of her, of the name, and yet I was still really debating getting the print. And so when I saw that there was the standee there, I was like, "Oh, I really want that." But then I kind of decided against it at the last minute. This was literally last minute. This was like 11:59 when a.m. when the auction was ending at 12. Shit! I almost crashed into that car. So. I did end up bidding for a standee from one of the exhibition booths, but unfortunately I did not get a call back, so I can only assume that I didn't win it, which is understandable given that it was at a low number. I think it was at $50, and then I bid it at 69 because I'm stupid like that. So Oakland. You know what? I don't think the convention center is modeled in this game. Well, actually, hold on. That might be it. Hold on a second. Is that it? That might be it. I can't fucking tell because this goddamn train's in the way, but... that might be it. That does look kind of familiar. Although I could be wrong. Maybe that isn't it, and I'm just very stupid. But yeah, part of the reason why I do want to go drive next year is because, literally because so I can auction for standees, which I understand I can just make my own, and I do need to look into that in terms of like, how much would a standee cost in terms of building? And I figure the cost associated with that and all that. You know what? No, I don't think this is the, I don't think... no, that's not the convention center. Never mind. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think the convention center is in this game, now that I'm looking at it, because why would it be? I don't know. I really feel like it should be, though, but maybe not. Unfortunate. I guess I'll just keep driving around this area, San Jose, until I maybe find it somewhere, and then eventually I'll just give up and just do another run, and then we'll go from there. But... yeah, I think most of what I did on Sunday was really just kind of, no, you know what, is this Tesla? Yeah, this is supposed to be like Tesla, I think. You know, before they moved out to Texas and all that. But, yeah, there we go. So technically, I think we're like more in Fremont than anything. Maybe not. Let's see, this is Osgood Road. That's not a road I'm familiar with. Okay. Never mind then. Yeah, I don't think this is it. I don't think they have it in this game. Shaking my head. Yeah, Sundays. I mean, I did buy stuff all 3 days. I think Friday was just kind of getting stuff that really just caught my eye. And then what I would do is, if anything kind of looked interesting, but you know, wasn't like immediate must buy, I would put it in my phone. I would put the table, I guess, booth name, the artist name and the booth location. I would put it on my phone and just be like, oh, note that for later, and then I go back maybe like the last day, which I did do. Someday I went back and was like, okay, you know, let's look back and see, is there anything here that looks interesting? And there was some purchasing definitely there, where I went back last minute and was like, okay, do I want to get this? Yeah, let's go get this. And then I got a whole bunch of stuff there. So, actually, let me take this opportunity to pause real quick, and let me actually connect my phone and show y'all some of the stuff that I did end up getting. So let me just do that real quick-o. Let me make sure... Let me first make sure... Well, let me make sure a couple things. Okay. So... Yeah, let me connect over to... Let me connect over to... Let me connect over to my phone. Vertical thin? Yeah, sure, vertical thin. Okay. So this is... And I really wish... Hold on. I still need to fix my phone, by the way. Like, I guess there's an update there, as my phone is still broken AF. Oh my lord. Wait, what? Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, hold on. Let me flip that real quick. There we go. Okay, much better. Okay, so yes, these are some of the stuff that I did get. I guess I can start here. Yeah, here. So this was the VShojo rally I was talking about. Got some nice postcards, some what are they called? Luggage tags. Got some nice luggage tags. Got a nice... Honestly, this bag is honestly super nice. It carried almost all the stuff that I bought, except for the books, so very, very clutch there. These are some of the doujin / art books that I bought, one from one of my friends. This tall tummy one really stood out to me, so I figured I'd get that one. And then, of course, this is the famous Pippa doujin that I knew I had to get a physical copy of, even though I don't really... I know of Pippa, right? But I don't think I've actually ever watched like a single clip of her, to be honest, so... But I did that anyway. Here's some of the other stuff I bought, which is covered by this goddamn chat box. But got the Orphe. A lot of Oguris, because, you know, a lot of the artists didn't have very comprehensive Uma stock, and so kind of defaulted to Oguri because she's the most popular character that's available. That's my favorite, so that's generally how it went. This sticker was actually from a guy that I chatted with. So back to the whole idea about really just kind of nice conversations with people. I had a lot of great conversations with artists at their booths. This guy in particular, shout out Joe Canvas. We had a really nice talk. He actually let me roll for in his 10 pull, his free 10 pull that day, and I actually got a SSR, and so he gave me the sticker in free in exchange for that. So that was actually really nice. So really awesome. Had some great conversation there, and yeah, that was a fun time. But this is this is what I was talking about with the day one, with the pin that I got from the guy that I was standing in the line with for Artist Alley. That was pulled a random Teo. They didn't have any Inesses. I asked, which is fine. I was totally understanding of that. Here's the funny thing that I will say. The number of booths that had Ines art is actually the same as in AX, which is insane to me. Like, there were 2 booths in AX that had Ines. There were 2 booths in Offkai that had Ines. In fact, this is an artist that I've seen before. I actually bought a Haruka key, or not keychain, Haruka pin from them in the past. I think this was at ASEN, ASEN back when I was still playing Project Sakai. So very good to run into them again. But we got a few other stickers. Obviously, Machitan Nature, a few keychains. I was debating on this one because I feel like I've bought this before. I recognize the artist from other conventions that I went to. I don't know if it was AX or Fanime, but I bought that one. And I was like, did I buy? I feel like I bought the Dansu, but I don't know. And I guess now that I think about it, I could have looked in my phone because I do take pictures of all the stuff that I bought. So in hindsight, maybe I could have just done that. But this may be a duplicate, so whoops if I did, but oh well. So the funny story about this, and I forgot to mention it, see, of course, I knew I was forgetting something. I was walking around the exhibition hall, and one of the people who was running a stall, I think this is the Wildcard booth or Wildcard Club, was like, "Oh my god, I'm a huge Uma fan. Wow!" It's like I actually have like I have the signed foil card of her. I was like, "Wow, really? That's awesome!" Like I know people are selling that for like a pretty penny. And we were like talking about that and like talking about Uma, and then at the end of it she's like, wait, she's like, oh, hold on a second, and then she was like rummaging through her stuff and she hands me this, which is the card she was talking about, and I was like, and she was like, here you go. It's like, have a good rest of your con. I'm like, wait, are you giving this to me? And to be quite honest, I'm still not sure whether she just meant for me to look at it and then hand it back to her, or if she was actually giving it to me. But in my mind, I was just and I justify this by saying if it was the former, in which case if it was the case where she was just giving it to me to look at and then I had to hand it back to her, I think she would have probably been like, wait, and then she would have stopped me as I was leaving the booth. So I'm pretty sure she was actually just straight up giving this to me, which honestly, that is so generous. Like this, again, like I said, this card is going for like not that much, but it was going for like a good amount of money, like $30-$40 in eBay last time I checked. So honestly, I shout out to that person. Like I really wish I got a name or something, but the person who was running the Wild Card Club booth in the exhibition hall day one, major props to you. Like honestly, you are awesome. I cannot understate how much I really appreciate that. But going back to some of the other stuff that I did, so this is the non-Uma stuff. Here's my Henya things I got. Here's the, I guess the postcard they gave after the fact. Some of the other random stuff that I got, including these Psyducks. If you don't know, I think I've mentioned before, Jigglypuff is my favorite Pokemon, hence the reason why I got this one. But Psyduck is also like a sneaky favorite of mine, so I do love getting like a lot of kind of the Psyduck merch here. Shrimp fried this rice. Got the hentai, got the Tom Nook, skill issue Dio, got a few Henya stuff, and this one was also kind of a freebie that I got from an artist after having like a nice conversation about Uma and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, take a look through the Hololive, I guess, card game cards and pick one, and then yeah, it's just like I guess this one stood out for reasons. Let's just say reasons. I say it funnily because like I don't know much about her. Like, obviously, like I said, I don't know a lot about Hololive, but I actually do know about Noelle because I know she had what was it, like a swimsuit outfit that got a figure release that I actually really was interested in because I thought it actually looks really nice. And so this is kind of a funny extension of that, obviously with the cow swimsuit there, which I later find out is because the real life of her is known as like Big Titty Milk Girl or whatever. I don't know, something like that. And so that's the reason why in a lot of her art she's kind of referenced to have like the cow outfit there, despite the fact that she's apparently supposed to be like a knight or whatever. But yeah, that's all the stuff I bought. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, and then here's the here is the freaking badge. Well, actually, hold on. Here's the badge ribbon that here's the badge that I ended up having at the end of the day, which got a whole bunch of stuff there. Like all I tried my best to get as many badge ribbons as I could, and at the end of the convention, I think it went all the way down, not to the floor, but honestly pretty close to the floor. So it was quite a collection there. But let me go back to let me here yeah let me. I did take a lot of pictures of the Uma cosplay meetup, and so let me go through those real quick before we get back into the game, before we get back into driving. I am legitimately surprised. There were not that many. There was only like one gold ship I saw throughout the entire convention, which is legitimately shocking considering she's probably the most popular character to cosplay other than maybe like Oguri and Tachyon. Like you see this Tachyon here. God, the fucking leg. But oh, this Forever Young cosplay, I ran into them quite a bit, and it was super awesome. They wanted a photo with me, I think like the first day, and then also the third day when we ran into each other. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, the Orphe cosplay, yeah, the ramen. So we got a few of the fellow ramens as well. There were like 2 other people who were also cosplaying the ramen outfits, so it was kind of fun there. Yeah, there's the other one, the Stego. But yeah, I am legitimately surprised. There's I mean, you can see there are quite a few Oguris here, but there was only one gold ship that wasn't even in at this gathering. There was and then yeah, there were like 2 Helioses, which I think if I eventually get to it, yeah, this one. This is fucking, oh my god, yeah. 6, 7. Time to go jump out a window. God, okay. But yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. Got a lot of and then oh yeah, the merch. People with their merch. I need to get Ines merch, man. I think this really makes me realize I just need to collect a lot of Ines merch. If I'm trying to be the self-proclaimed #1 Ines Fujin fan as I am, I need to be better about getting merch there. So the fucking Speaker trainer. It's so out of character. I wish there was a gold ship though, because it would have been more out of character, or more in character compared to like the others ones here. Suzuka would just be one probably standing in the background more than anything. Yeah, the Gyarus. I don't remember what the theme for this one was. Yeah, just the lone almond eye. Feel kind of bad. Oh yeah, this one was one of my favorites. The freaking Spider-Man meme with all the trainers. That's funny. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I think what is this one? I don't remember some of the themes. Oh yeah. Oh, and this is a keyboard meetup. Okay, I think that's pretty much here. I can try and see where are my photos for the photos I took. Okay, so this was ramen. This was the day what the heck? This was day 1 of the ramen scenario. Or sorry, this was day 3 with the ramen scenario. I also have one with my and I didn't take very many good photos, admittedly, so unfortunately this is the best photo I have when I took with day 2 with my school uniform cosplay, which I forgot to mention in my story of day 2, is that trying to get this on was a bitch and a half. I didn't have double-sided tape or anything, so my socks kept falling off. My ear actually fell off, so I was actually down a year. And the shoes that I had were honestly pretty shitty, low-key, so they were pretty uncomfortable. So my feet were hurting by the end of this. But I did appreciate the fact that they did have like a cosplay repair place, so they were able to get hot glue from my ear. They were able to get double-sided tape from my legs over here, and I was actually came in super clutch. But yeah, we got small Ina over here with the freaking crowbar. But that was day 2 with my school uniform, and then day 1, let me see, where's my photo for that? Yeah, so the only photo I was able to get with that was when I was with Henya. So it's this one over here. Yeah, nothing too crazy about that, but yeah, it was nice. Got the photo there, so very, very good experience overall with all of that. The last photo that I do have is not technically a cosplay, but it is what I wore over to after all the shenanigans happened day 2 when I was trying to go to the Anikura, and then I abandoned that. But this was my outfit. I brought along my Happy, and I figured I wore the Ines visor just to test out a theory to see if anybody would recognize Ines, which unfortunately I was 0 for 1 on that. I was talking to a guy on the train ride over, who noticed the Happy, and then we kind of struck a conversation overall about stuff, which was again very, very kind of common theme throughout the whole convention. But yeah, they did not notice that, so 0 for 1. But and then I again abandoned the whole convention pretty quickly once I realized the dance party was actually kind of awkward. So, but that's pretty much it. So, yeah. That's really yeah, that was your scheduled photo break. Now back to the gameplay. PC game. Again, it's been a while. It's been a little bit since I streamed. I kind of forgotten how to do it, but that's okay. Okay. Right. Let's do it. Okay. Trying to remember if there was... See, this is why you take... Kids, this is why you take notes on stuff, because then you remember what the hell you're trying to say to people and things in life. Instead, I'm just here struggling. I'm out here struggling, but it's okay. If anything... it probably wasn't important anyway, so that's pretty much yeah, that's pretty much all. But overall, as I've repeated many times, Offkai, Chef's Kiss, beautiful, loved it. Really, pretty honestly, out of the 3 conventions I went to, definitely the best run. There were definitely a few scuffs and minor issues here and there, but I feel like, God, compared to AX, it was an absolute godsend, and I feel like AX has just become... I mean, I think most people can agree, it is way too big for its own good. And so there's so many issues regarding stuff like lines and crowds and all that stuff, so comparing any convention to that, I feel like is kind of a fool's errand, but also I just feel like Offkai, again, like, it's just the overall vibes of it was just so nice. Something about, I think, the fact that it was catered to VTuber fans made it so that the kind of general, and I don't mean to say this in an elitist way, but it did kind of feel like the, there wasn't really kind of that crowd of people who are like, kind of like, for lack of a better term, normies, LARPers, in a sense, like... people who were like, oh yeah, like it just felt like there were people who were very passionate about like VTubing and like kind of being VTuber fan or like kind of the culture. And so it definitely led to a lot of very good kind of interactions, vibes, whatever you want to call it, environments. And so I really did enjoy my time, despite the fact that that was actually the one convention that I went to this year where I didn't meet up with anybody that I knew beforehand, other than also running into a few artist friends that were tabling, but one of which I actually hadn't talked to since college, which was actually kind of nice. I was a little bit surprised they remembered me. I thought they would have forgotten about me, but maybe they were faking it too. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I didn't see. It didn't seem like they were faking it, but maybe they're just really good at faking it. But at least it seemed like they recognized me, so I guess that's nice. But even without that, I felt like I had some pretty good times with talking to people and just kind of meeting new friends and stuff. So it was very good. I did enjoy that. So very fun, very fun. But again, now that's all out of the way. Now I'm back to my chud Chungus life, my sad Chungus life. But it's fine, you know. I'll just live my sad Chungus life. Wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. I know where this is. This is the airport, because this is the soccer stadium or whatever. Isn't this like really? Isn't this right where the airport is? Shit. Well, fuck. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of near where the airport is, because yeah, I think it's literally right there, right over there. Because I remember when I was flying into San Jose the first time, and I was looking out my window, I was like, is that the soccer stadium that's literally right there? And I was thinking to myself, that's got to be really annoying for the people, because like all the planes and stuff just flying right over there near the stadium. Like that's got to be kind of annoying, low key. But I guess maybe not. I don't know. Anywho, let me register that. Actually, hold on. I didn't register a part of the road there, and that's gonna drive me insane. So let me go back for that real quick. Let me get all crazy. Okay, there we go. I don't think I can teleport myself, unfortunately, right now, given that I'm damaged. So let me go find myself the nearest repair zone, and then I'll go ahead and try and see if we can do a long. We'll do a long ass. We'll do a long ass, if you know what I mean. No, we'll do a long journey, and then I think we'll call it a day. I didn't really plan for this to be a very long stream, to be honest. So, and I actually went through my talking points a lot faster than I thought I would. So, there's which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a thing. So, I guess I'll just have to live with it. Where the heck is the nearest repair zone? Probably, unfortunately, over here. Okay, well. Time to do a whole bunch of driving, I guess. Yeehaw. American Truck Driving Simulator. Yeehaw. Speaking of this game, I can't believe they announced Indiana before North Dakota, if anything. I do know that they probably are teasing North Dakota to come pretty soon. I just think it's still kind of weird that they announced Indiana. I guess it's more so of a sign that South Dakota's coming pretty in the near future, which I think is that not the next one that's coming on the pipeline? Because yeah, it's South Dakota, then it would probably be British Columbia, and then yeah, Indiana was the newest one that got announced. So I guess that's a sign that, you know, maybe South Dakota is coming within the next few months. Hopefully, that'd be kind of nice. I feel like that has the potential to be pretty underrated with areas like the Badlands and all the kind of nice areas there, the nice nature. Oh shit, that's my exit. Okay, hold on. Hold on a minute. Excuse me. Shit. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to spend a lot of my money. In fact, hold on. Let me see if I can just load an autosave. Oh yeah, let's load the autosave so I can reset myself into a location where I'm not as damaged. Look at that. See, much less damaged. Only 49%. Only half damaged. Easy. But yeah, let's see what else is going on with my Chungus life. I mean, oh, that's not my exit. Jesus. I mean, yeah, as I mentioned earlier and alluded to early in the stream, today was really just chaotic with me trying to get UMA tickets. Luckily, shout out once again to the Uma Musume meet up and cosplay Discord for having that spreadsheet for people to be able to buy tickets. So very clutch there, and so I am very excited for late October. But in the meantime, in the near future, I am pretty close to hopefully signing a lease for a new place, which is also very exciting. Very much way cheaper than what I'm paying for right now with my place, which I'm excited for, being able to actually maybe accrue some savings instead of spending all my money on rent and basic living necessities. So there's a little bit of a good time there. What's funny is that I think I mentioned this before in a previous stream, right? Is that my unit actually got listed for like a couple $100 less than what I alright, 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Dude, I really don't appreciate you spamming my... And he's spamming my... Okay. Yeah. it's one thing to do that, but it's also another thing just to freaking. You're not. Hopefully, y'all aren't seeing it on your end, but he just sent like 4 straight messages of the exact same thing. It's like, come on, let's not. These bots are really just getting bad. Is it? I really do wonder if it's because I tagged my stream as just chatting, and maybe that's attracting all these bots like this. I'll have to experiment with that later, but or maybe Twitch is being even worse. Ever in the week that I've been gone, they've gotten worse with their bot problem. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those two. But God, what was I saying? God, now it just made me lose my train of thought. Thanks, bot. God, what was I talking about? God, this is gonna drive me insane. Something about Live, right? Something about the right, moving. And the unit. So yeah, actually the funny story about that was I was talking to the leasing manager, which that's been pulling teeth because my leasing office does not respond to emails for whatever reason, which has been so every time I've had to stop by the office, and sometimes the leasing manager's not there, so I have to pass along the message, and then they call me, and then it's just like, oh, okay, great. Part of me thinks the reason why they're not responding to emails is so that they don't leave a paper trail of promises and saying stuff and all that. I legitimately do think that's the reason, because here's why. Because originally I was talking to the person and being like, hey, could I negotiate, like not negotiate per se, but can I'd be willing to sign the lease for this unit with this price? And they're like, oh yeah, we don't usually lower the rent for people. Sorry about that. That's not really an exception. I'm not joking. This is actually pretty much her tone of her voice. It's like, okay then. Like, okay, well, is a transfer of a unit possible? And she's like, oh yeah, transfers happen all the time here. Yeah, you can definitely transfer to a new unit, take advantage of the price. And then it's like, okay, great, I'll think about that. And then a few days go by, and it's like, okay, I email her first, thinking that might be, the way to do it. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be interested in signing or like transferring over to the new unit. What's that process like? Is there anything special I have to do, or is it just like applying to that new unit? No response for a few days, so I'm like, okay, fuck, I guess I have to stop by the office again. So that's what I do. I stop by the office, and it's like, okay, great. Luckily, she's in the office, and so I talk to her, and I'm like, yeah, hey, I was the guy who I was talking to. And the first red flag about that was she called me by the entirely wrong name. She's like, oh, blank. I'm like, no, it's Shino. And it's like, oh, Shino, yeah. And she didn't apologize or anything. And so that's the first red flag. The second red flag was that she was like, okay, well, I mean, what I kind of expected was like, oh, there's no like, special system in place. You have to do the whole thing of applying for the unit again, similar to what I did about a year ago. But what kind of really drew me off guard was she's like, yeah, so like normally we don't do transfers, or the management company doesn't really want us to do transfers, but I already told you about that, so yeah. And I don't, that really low key. That plus the whole general tone of the conversation, which the general tone that she gave off was like, oh, like, I don't really care about you, like, despite the fact that you've been living with us for a year and you've been submitting rent payments on time and you've been generally a good person living here, like, I don't care about you, like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, I guess, like, I have like so many other applicants out there that are willing to pay, and I don't care, if you're out the door, like, I can get a replacement super easily. And it's like, okay, well, and I'm just like, well, okay, fuck me for being a loyal resident for a year. It's just like, I guess that doesn't matter. And that whole tone of that conversation just left a super bitter taste in my mouth, because I was going into that ready to apply to sign to transfer to a new apartment. But after that conversation, I was like, nope, that's not happening. So they just lost a customer there, which I know that's such a Karen thing to say, but like, actually though, that was like legitimately like, wow, I don't want to have to. That compiled with all the issues that I've dealt with. If you've watched any of my streams, you know that I've been dealing with a few kind of minor stuff, between like having to deal with not having AC for a couple of days because they couldn't get somebody in time when it was leaking, to when I came back from the New Year's and Christmas holiday only to find that my car is completely stained brown because there was a leak above my unit, or not my unit, my car's parking space, and they said that they would not compensate for any damages there, which luckily there wasn't any damage, but still that was a big I don't know about that. So it was just all of that, and the whole lack of communication. Like, they would not respond to any of my emails. When I initially was trying to move into this place, like, there were like so many different phone numbers that I was trying to call into that for whatever wait, what happened? Wasn't there a job in Arizona that I was trying to go for? Why is it, what happened? Okay, well, whatever, I guess I'll take this one. Yeah, and between all of that, and like, it took like multiple calls to places before I finally found a number that actually responded, let alone like took a email voice response. Because like, some of the numbers I called were just like, this number is there is nobody here to take your response. It's like, bye. And then it's just like, it didn't even leave me anything for like a voicemail or like anything. It was just like, there is nobody here to respond to. It's like, unfortunately, it's like blah blah blah, and then it's like bye, and then it just hung up, and I'm just like, excuse me. It's like, what the hell? So it was just I just don't want to deal with that shit anymore, man. And also the fact that I'm paying way too much for the place. And I found another place. This was actually like a few days before I headed out to the convention. But I toured a place that I actually really liked, and it was way cheaper. Like, no joke, probably like $500 cheaper in terms of rent per month, and that definitely is going to add up big time. So yeah, I'm very excited. I submitted that whole application today, so it's still pending. So I shouldn't really. It's the whole thing. Technically probably shouldn't count my chickens and all that, but I am very hopeful that it pulls through, considering I don't think there's really anybody else that's applying for the unit, which I'm a little surprised at, but I'm also not, because it's not being advertised very well. The unit that they are advertising is a different one, and so I think most people don't realize, unless they look really closely at the site and stuff, that it's available. That specific unit that I'm looking at is available, so, which is good. Like, honestly, thank God, less competition. So hopefully I hear good news within the next few days, and then start prepared to move. But yeah, I'm honestly more excited than anything. Not really stressed or all that stuff that comes with moves, because if any of you know, for those of you who have experienced it, moving can be stressful and tough and expensive and all that. But I think nothing will top the move that I did last year, moving cross-country, or halfway across the country, from Chicago to the Los Angeles area, because that was an absolute nightmare to have to deal with, all the logistics and stuff. And oh, man, I'm glad that I don't have to do that again, for the near future at least. But that's been basically my life for the most part, is just kind of dealing with all that. I guess follow-up to that is, by the time it gets closer to my move, I'm probably gonna have to do another kind of hiatus of like a week or so, just because I'm gonna have to set up my whole setup again. I'm gonna have to get internet. I'm probably gonna have to, do the whole logistics of moving, so that's gonna take priority over streaming. So whenever that time comes, which is going to be around mid-August, I will probably be taking about like a week or two off. So just a heads up for y'all there. Again, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So, but it will be a thing. So, but I'm excited. I really am. I'm more excited at the potential of, because I honestly always saw this place as kind of a more temporary stopgap. I think I've mentioned it before, where this was my last resort option. None of my options that I was looking at ended up working out, and so this was just kind of the last resort. Well, I have to move in somewhere in this area. I guess I'll just move into the hella expensive 1-bedroom that has the weirdest layout that I've ever seen, in terms of an oversized bathroom, oversized living room, really weirdly laid out everything low key. And it's just like, the other thing I'm excited for with the unit that I'm moving into, or I shouldn't say that, the unit that I apply to, let's just say that, is that it still has a lot of the necessities that I want / need, in terms of like central air conditioning, which especially during this time is really important. Which, by the way, weather update, it's been hella hot, and it's going to get even hotter this weekend, so fuck my life. But yeah, during these times when it's just the super El Nino and it's not only hot, but it's also kind of a little bit humid too, which doesn't really help. And it's starting to, it's not even like the hot, it's just barely starting to approach the hot season here around this area, so I'm not looking forward to the next few months when it's actually going to be like terrible. But yeah, central air was #1 priority for me for sure, and then in-unit laundry was kind of a nice to have, and that I think that's one of the things that I had to compromise on, because the one drawback of the place that I apply to is that it doesn't have in-unit laundry, and in fact there's only one laundry facility in the basement, and mind you, I'm going to be living on the top floor, third, so that's going to be a bit of a walk. But I figured I don't do laundry. You only really do laundry like kind of every so often, so it's not really that much of a pressing need. The other kind of meh part about it is the fact that it's coin laundry, so you know that's another expense. But again, it's just like, you know, trade-offs. Everything else about the unit's really nice. It's east-facing, it has a nice balcony, it has a lot of space. It even has like a little mini-bar area, which is kind of a little bit weird, and actually kind of a little bit of a drawback as well, given that I don't know when I would really need to use it, if ever, but it's there, so, you know, I guess that's cool. And it's a nice quiet street, and it's actually really pretty close to where I'm currently living already. Like, it's like a 5-10 minute walk from where I live right now, so it's not like I'm gonna have to adjust to a totally new area. It's pretty much just gonna be the same area I'm living in anyway, so that's a nice little benefit. I don't know if it's a benefit so much of it as it is just kind of like a nice little something about it. Oh, it's getting dark. I should pull over somewhere to sleep real quick. Let's see where the nearest rest stop is. This looks like a nice rest stop. Sure, let's go over here. Actually, it's right here. Perfect. But yeah, that's been my life. The other thing, another thing that I did want to bring up that isn't really my life, but something that's kind of been crazy, is that the VOD video for, the VOD for my the stream I did of the database detective game has blown up super crazily. It's insane. It is by far my most viewed VOD, and it's still getting a good consistent number of views. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where that came from. Like I saw that it was hello, 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 hello. Enter. I would like to rest. There we go. Okay, it was not working there for a second. Yeah, no, because I came back, I think, from I don't know if it was from Offkai or like from something. Because when did I play that game? I played that game Sunday. Yeah, that was a Sunday stream. Yeah, because I think no, this was probably before Offkai. I was just happened to be like, okay, I wonder how my videos are doing, and then I see that stream has like this is probably before I uploaded the rulership stream, because I did upload that late. And so I was gonna do that. I pull up my YouTube and I see that this stream has 200 and something views, and I'm like, what? Huh? It's like normally my stream VODs get like maybe like at most like 20-ish, sometimes can get up to double digits, and I have had like one instance of a VOD getting like up to like 100 views, but definitely not to the extent of like, you know, 200 or anything like that. And so I was just like, who are you people? Where did you come from? Like, goddamn. I even got like a couple of comments on that video too. Very nice comments, by the way. So very good stuff. They were like, oh yeah, it's nice to see. It was like one comment that was like, oh, it's nice to see that I'm not the only one struggling with this game. Which, yeah, I was definitely struggling with some of the later cases. And then I think the other comment was like, I don't know what the other comments. I think it was like similar vibes. It's like, yeah, it's good to see that, you know, it's a really nice walkthrough. I do wonder if the people that click on that video expect it to be like kind of like a walkthrough, like comprehensive stuff, and then they're disappointed by the fact that I didn't actually technically finish the game. But it's still kind of insane. Like I said, that video is still getting views despite the fact that it's been a week. Usually what happens with most of my VODs is it usually peaks out after a week and it doesn't really continue to, well, I shouldn't say that. It does continue to usually get views, but usually the peak of the views usually happen like the first week or so. And so it is kind of crazy that it's been a week plus and it's still getting like a consistent. I see the trend line and it's consistently going. It hasn't been like any like weird bumps or dips or anything. It's been consistently just the same number. I will say I think I know the reason why it's been getting that number of views. It's because if you search the name of the game on YouTube, it happens to be, I think, like the second or third video that pops up. But I still think that's amazing that people click on that, because it's like, it's a 6-hour video. It's like, I don't know who in their right mind would like click on a 6-hour video being like, yeah, let's watch this. I guess there is definitely an audience for it. I'm not trying to yuck people's yums or anything, but it's kind of an interesting scene, because there's other videos of people playing the game that are edited down, obviously, and it's just like, damn, okay, I feel like most people will probably go for that one, but I don't know, maybe people like watching, kind of having that in the background and stuff, you know. I know there's definitely a kind of an audience for that, a niche, and so I don't see that as unreasonable at all. All that to say that I think, with that being said, I definitely do feel like I do need to get back into that game. Granted, I found out, and I did kind of spoil myself a little bit, I did find out that that case that I was stuck on, the one with all the stocks and stuff, is technically not the final case. There's actually another case after that. And I did kind of spoil myself, because, again, I was so stuck on how the frick to actually get that case. I think I actually have an understanding now of what to do. So maybe even tomorrow, I might do a follow-up stream of that game. And it might be a short one, given that it's, again, only 2 cases. But I do want to do that and just finish that and mark that as a complete chapter in the history of the Shino lore, I guess. So I guess look out for that. I do want to stream. Definitely want to make up for the fact that I didn't stream, honestly, last Wednesday or Thursday when I said I was going to. The only reason I didn't do that was because I was preparing badge ribbons by hand, and that took a while to do because I didn't really have the good necessary tools for that. But now that I am free for the most part and in a pretty decent mood, that might change given some stuff that may happen in the future, depending on whether or not I get this goddamn apartment. Excuse me, sir. That was 100% your fault. But, oh, that was my fault. But given that I don't have too much going on in terms of stuff, I hopefully should be in the mood to stream tomorrow, so I guess look out for that. If not tomorrow, then Thursday, because I do definitely want to return to that game. I also do kind of want to stream Holodori. I have streamed rhythm games before. I did one stream of Project Sakai back when I tried to get back into that game before I realized it's still kind of not really my thing. To play it every day and have to log in and do games and lives and stuff. And that's kind of how I feel about Holodori, so I guess getting back into that, because I did kind of touch on it a little bit of talking about how I do kind of enjoy it a little bit, but I feel like it's still in that honeymoon period where it still feels like kind of a fresh new game. I don't know how I'm going to feel like maybe even a few weeks from now when it's kind of getting a bit more stale. And I'm already starting to see a few cracks and kind of problems with the game, namely, like I mentioned, the story is not really that great, which is kind of understandable given that, you know, these are freaking real life people and streamers and stuff, and so it's kind of hard to really write character stories about them, and you can only really rely on, I guess, more their character sheets and anything, and their initial kind of debut personalities, not so much of their general day-to-day stream shenanigans. Can't really go into that stuff. So they're trying to make it as, for lack of a better term, I feel like they're trying to be as say-so as possible with the stories, and I feel like it just kind of falls flat because of that. The other big complaint I have about the game is it's really stingy with the currency, like, shockingly so. Like, I understand it's a gacha game, and so, yes, of course, it's going to be kind of stingy with how it gives out gacha, or like kind of the currency, the diamonds, but they don't give out currency for anything. Like, they don't give out currency for like area conversations, like with Project Sakai or D4DJ. Like, they don't give out a lot of currency for completing like all perfects or score boosts for any of the lives, or like full combos. It's just like a whole, it's a desert. And I understand that, you know, there are the missions and you can actually get a pretty decent chunk of diamonds from exploring and opening treasure chests and stuff, but that economy dries out eventually, and so weeks down the line, how are people going to be able to get diamonds, right? And I feel like that's going to be the biggest pain point. Because it comes to a point of where it's just like you see what's happening right now with this gacha where the current banner slash event has 5 characters, all 5 stars, and it's just like that feels a little bit. And I should say with a caveat that there is a version of the gacha where you can select somebody with rate up, and then that gives them like a 1% chance of appearing, which is definitely pretty nice. Having said that, still that is kind of shitty overall. But yeah, it's I can definitely see myself maybe not playing this for very long, but for now, you know, I'll definitely lean into it a little bit, so maybe that's another potential game to play. But I think I mentioned in the last stream before I headed off for Offkai is that I bought a whole bunch of games in addition to that database detective game that are interesting kind of games that I think might be kind of good to look at from a Steam perspective, or from a stream perspective. So definitely have a lot in the pipeline, but yeah, exciting times ahead in the Shino life, I guess I should say. I should hydrate. I have not drank a single drop of water yet, and it has almost been 2 hours, so I need to do that. Let's hydrate. Alright, yeah, I need the hydration. Oh my god, my throat was getting parched. Honestly, I think my throat still isn't recovered from the shenanigans of Saturday screaming. So, I mean, as you can probably tell, it's mostly fine now, but I think I can definitely tell I've been out of the game a little bit in terms of streaming, because my throat is not feeling great right now, and it's only been 2 hours, so I think this is probably going to be a short one. I mean, I figured that this was probably going to be a shorter stream anyway, but definitely feel like don't want to extend myself too much, and given that I do want to stream potentially multiple times this week, in terms of the optional stuff, so maybe we can even have it be a really packed week with it being a Wednesday. Actually, hold on, if I do that, when am I going to do laundry? Shoot, I kind of just realized that. Yeah, I did push off the laundry day. I guess maybe I won't do a Wednesday stream then. Maybe that's a no-go then. But your boy will try. Your boy will try. Wait a second, shit, it's this way. God, that's not confusing at all. Okay, there we go. We're going up to Mojave. We're not going to LA. We ain't going up on we're not going on the 5. We're going on the other one. Right lane ends. Oh no. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to go on this lane now. Yeah, honestly, one of the things that I've realized, or not realized, but one of the benefits that have come from streaming is the ability that, or not the ability per se, but the fact that I guess my vocal cords, my neck muscles, whatever things are going on around this area are strengthened, because, and I think I might have told this story, but maybe not, but when I was at AX, this was probably day 2 or day 3, I was met up with a couple of friends, we did some KBBQ, and then we did a session of karaoke after, and everybody was talking about how, like, oh man, my throat's really, like, not feeling great after all of that, like, the karaoke and the chatting and all that, and I was just like, really? Because I don't feel anything, like, my throat's totally fine. And then it kind of made me realize that, damn, you know, doing all these streams, like these multi-hour streams, like multiple times per week, definitely helps with the whole idea of, I guess, like, just like vocal strengthening in a way. So I guess there's the little benefit of that, which is always kind of funny which is funny to me, given that, you know, I don't talk that much ever in my life, like, other than maybe work, like, because I'm not a very sociable person, right? Like, I'm kind of like more of an introvert, and I really don't have that many friends to begin with. So I don't really have much opportunities to talk. Like, there are definitely, like, I'm not gonna lie, there are points during, like, days in the weekend when I just don't even say a single word. If on like days that I'm not streaming, mind you, I guess. On days I'm streaming, obviously I'm talking, but like it's just like if I go, if I'm not working, or like I should say, if I'm not in the office working, and if I don't have a meeting or anything or whatever, there's a good chance that I may not go, that I may go the entire day without saying a single word, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. So it was definitely, I remember a transition of when I was originally starting streaming of, okay, well now my throat has to get used to all this kind of like talking, and also this whatever, what's the word? Alright, 1 second. Bro, should I just hold on? Let me do something really quick. I'm gonna test out a theory real quick. Let me remove the just chatting tag. I think it's really just, I think it honestly might be attracting all the, maybe not. Maybe Twitch is starting to get an even worse problem with the bots. This is the third time that I've had somebody, third, fourth, somebody banned because of trying to be like, oh, I really love your stream, let's connect on Discord, and it's like, buddy, I don't give my Discord out to nobody. Like, the only person that I've ever given my Discord out to... Actually, no, I shouldn't even say that. I have not given my Discord out to anybody. Like, I know I've collabed with Raze before in the past, but that's because he's a close friend of mine, and we've known each other since... Not way back, but like... Actually, no, way back, yeah. It's been a long set of years for sure. And so I trust him. I know the dude. Like we've hung out a lot. We've been in parties together. We've gone gatherings together. All that stuff. Like I met up with him when I went up to the Bay Area originally. So, like I know he's chill. Like so the point of being is like I'm not gonna give out my Discord information out to anybody, right? Like that's not my MO. But... And what's also really annoying about that too is like every time this happens, now I lose my train of thought because I was definitely talking about something, but now I already forgotten about it already. Oh right, initially like the vocal intros. Yeah, so it was definitely a transition of because I remember when I was originally first starting, it was just like, man, my throat is not feeling the best. And I wasn't even streaming for that long, but definitely felt the repercussions of that, and then it slowly took kind of getting into that rhythm before being able to be more comfortable with that. And now I think it's to a point of where it's just like, okay, well, I do it so many times, not even so many times, like I only really stream at minimum 2 times a week, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much at all. But I guess even then, that's enough to be able to kind of build out a resistance. And I'm only really talking about this, saying this, only because it's making me starkly the kind of tingle in my throat right now is making me starkly realize that even just a break in the action is enough to get you out of your rhythm. It's really hard it's hard to keep habits. I think that's the moral lesson we're learning today. Say that also because I kind of skipped gym day yesterday, and I kind of feel bad about that, which is a good thing. I should feel bad about that. Otherwise, if I don't feel anything about that, I'm going to be more tempted to skip the days, and then I'm not going to exercise, and I'm going to be all fat and stuff. So let's not do that. Let's actually get some exercise going, huh? Let's get those gains. Let's be honestly, Uma Musume definitely. Uma, and to an extent, what was that anime with the muscle? It's how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? That game, not that game, that anime, honestly really inspired me to try and get more fit, and I think that's where I ended up trying to do stuff with like fitness boxing and all that. Although no, I think did that happen after? When did that anime come out? Hold on, how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? Because if that came out pre-COVID, then yeah, maybe, but like, how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? Came out. Yeah, no, that did come out. No, that came out like that came out summer 2019. Okay, so I don't think that influenced my decision to do like fitness boxing, which really spurred me to get a lot better in terms of fitness and stuff, but it helped for sure. I think I definitely took away from that, doing more exercises and trying to be a bit more fit and better about that. But Uma Musume also helps with that because it's like, damn, like look at these girls trying to achieve their dreams, trying to be all fit and stuff. It's like I can do that too. And so, and it also helps that Uma Musume music, as I've mentioned many times before, is very good running music and just general like exercise music too. It's just very good exercising music. I use it a lot whenever I'm in the gym and stuff. Speaking of which, man, I kind of I didn't realize this now, but this is something that hello, this is something that I am realizing is I need to get a gym membership now because the apartment that I'm moving into or the unit that I'm moving into doesn't have a gym, which was not even a priority for me to be honest. Like it's probably number like 40, 50, whatever. I don't have like a actual like list, but like point is it's not even in my list of priorities in terms of like having a fitness center because I feel like those are only really for like the luxury, I quote unquote air quotes luxury apartment complexes, which are way inflated in price, and that kind of brings me to my whole problem in the first place of I'm paying way too much for my space, and I just need to get somewhere that is reasonably priced without spending so much of my money and my paycheck. So is but yeah, I do need to get a gym membership. Having said that, though, like even like a decently priced gym membership, coupled with all the costs, is definitely does not make up the difference in the rent that I'm saving. So, still, I'm fine with that. You know, like, cause yeah, I guess if I consider it in that front, all the expenses in terms of I guess like obviously rent, but also then like I guess plus laundry, plus gym would still make it so that I think I would be paying around maybe like $400, maybe $400 to $500 less in rent per month than I am right now, which is a huge difference, right? So yeah, and I think like even the most oh shit, even the most I shouldn't say conservative, even the most wide like widest range of values in terms of like most expensive stuff would still get me to like 300 400 in savings, which is still a really big deal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but a little nervous, but you know who isn't? So we'll just have to roll with the punches. Just put into perspective the fact that this is gonna be way easier than last year's. So yeah, just have to. And honestly, even ever since moving in here, I've always kind of been in the mindset that, oh, this is honestly probably going to be a temporary one year thing. So I never really truly got comfortable in this apartment. So I'd say not that I'm like half moved in or anything, or like, what's the word? Not that I'm dropping a lot of frames, by the way. Whoops. Not that I'm like living in a halfway lifestyle sort of thing, but definitely didn't make myself too comfortable, so I think packing and moving all the stuff shouldn't be too much of a hassle, I guess, for lack of a better term. So, but that's the hope. I mean, things are probably going to be way more chaotic than I actually think, and then that's why I do need to start early, which is probably why I think I'm probably going to start this weekend in terms of like slowly getting stuff. The biggest thing I realize is I need to start packing, or not packing, I need to start getting rid of clothes that I never wear. I have a whole closet of stuff that I think I haven't even touched in the year that I've been here. So I'm just like, I just need to, if I'm not gonna, if it's like I keep them for like sentimental value, right? Because it's like shirts that I got from college, from like free shirts that I got from in addition to like the season football tickets that I got. Like they give student shirts, and so I've kept that for ever since. But I never wear those shirts, so I'm just like, do I really need them? And I think at the end of the day, it's like, no, I really don't. So I think those are ones that I either need to like donate or like throw away or whatever. And so I need to do like a deep clean. I need to refresh myself. I honestly, this moving is also nice because it gives me an opportunity to just kind of clean my life away, like do the whole like what is it, Marie Kondo or whatever, like her whole the KonMari method or whatever of what brings you joy. Like, maybe not to that extent, but like in that similar vein of like, yeah, I need to like actually just keep the things that I am gonna use, right? I shouldn't just keep things of being like, oh, maybe I might use this someday, and then never actually do, and then I just leave it in my like closet or my drawers and just kind of untouched and just collecting dust, and it's just like, no, let's just no, if you're not gonna use it, get rid of it. And now we're in Arizona, so just gotta be more mindful and better about that. But yeah, it's a positive attitude, you know, positive, optimistic, mental attitude, and I'm feeling pretty good. This might just be the boba talking, but I'm feeling pretty saucy, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty ready, randy as they say. So all good stuff there. It is kind of jarring though. I'm just like, oh man, it's like, because usually when I'm streaming, I am in the mindset of, oh, like I don't have to go to the office, right? Because usually I never stream on Mondays or Tuesdays, which is days I'm like, oh, I have to go to the office tomorrow. But it's just like, no, I have to go to the office tomorrow, and I'm like, well, shit, actually, wait, fuck. It's like, dang it, I kind of wish I didn't have to, but that's okay. Honestly, for what it's worth, it actually is worth it for me to go to the office. I know there's some jobs out there or in some companies where, you know, they force people to go to the office only for people to just kind of be stuck sitting in their own cubicle all day, not even talking to anybody around them, taking Zoom calls and all that, and it's just like, well, this is a waste. No, it actually is kind of nice just being in office with my team, just because then I actually can get some nice in-person collaboration done, which I feel like would not be as easy or honestly possible if we were all just kind of remote, just in our homes, in our home offices and stuff. So it is nice. It is kind of nice, and I've mentioned it a many times. My commute is not that bad, right? It's only at most it's barring the one day that I had when I was sitting in traffic for 2 hours because of a major accident. It's only been like 25-30 minutes at best, and then maybe like 35 at worst, and maybe 40 if the traffic is really packed. But I'm really thankful for what the fuck. Oh my god, the AI. That is not my fault, right? That is not my fault. That is 100% not my fault. Well, I guess, but what truck just goes like, oh, let me just go in this lane. Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. Like, can I just say the AI in this game has not been good recently? And I shouldn't say that because I have not been playing this game recently, but it feels like it's worse than it was before. Can I just say that? It definitely does not feel great. Anyway, dang, we got the... Is this the part of the new rebuild? I think... No, I've driven through this before. Okay. But this is part of the new area, because you can see I haven't even... Lake Havasu City here, I haven't even touched yet. Because, yeah, they remade like a lot of this kind of the northern Arizona area in anticipation for the Route 66 completion with the addition of Illinois here. But... Which it looks nice. There's definitely the rebrand was definitely appreciated, or the rework, I should say. And I saw that they are making rumblings of working on Nevada, which is also highly needed, given that Nevada, I feel like, is probably the worst looking state in the entire game, given that it hasn't had any touches to it since it came out. It was one of the first, I think it was the first part of the first states to come out when the game first came out, like 13-ish years ago, so definitely outdated. So looking forward to seeing that rebranded and revamped. Honestly, I'm just looking... The biggest thing I'm looking forward to in this game is obviously the addition of my home state. Good old land of cheese, land of dairy, Wisconsin. Really looking forward to being able to drive through my hometown, driving through some of the interstates that I've driven through many times before, and exploring some cities that I've heard of in name and person, but I actually have never visited. Some of the northern cities like Superior and Racine and Oconomowoc, which I guess isn't really a northern city, but I never really visited. Actually, no, I have visited it. Never mind. I have been there once. Like it feels like some of the cities I've been to just because we were there for like during high school when I go to like cross country meets and tennis meets and stuff, and we'd be the OA team going to those areas. But other than that, no, not really. Didn't really explore too much of the state, to be quite honest. But no, I know it's probably a long ways away, given that they haven't even announced it yet. And I think honestly, Minnesota's probably first on the list before Wisconsin. But given that Indiana came before North Dakota, I have a sliver of hope that maybe they might announce Wisconsin sooner rather than later. But also, I'm not really too hopeful about that. We'll just have to see. I was not expecting to go through my my topics of discussion so quickly. I was like, oh man, I have so much to talk about. Wow, amazing. And then it's just like, wait, actually, I guess I'm done. It's okay. I'll figure out. That's the joy of these Yappin and Truckin streams, is it's always just pulling a whole bunch of something out of a whole bunch of nothing. Pulling stuff out of my ass, pretty much. Not literally, because that's really gross, but... Oh, speaking of which, God, speaking of which, this is a really off-side tangent. When I went to the yabai market at Offkai, I did find it funny that they had a little kind of section where you can contribute, basically. Tell everybody your favorite tag. And I did see that they were missing a few, but that's also because I think they removed the top 5 from the year before. But I was a little bit disappointed they removed actually probably one of my favorite ones. And I guess that one of my favorites is actually more of a niche one, so I'm surprised they didn't have that. Though I kind of was resorted to having to go with a classic, let's just say. One that fits who I am as my with my sexual identity, shall I say. Let's just say it fits that. So I'll just leave it up to you to figure out, piece together the clues from that. But I was surprised that there wasn't many people for that one. I think by far the most popular one, and I'm trying to remember, but there was definitely 2 that were really popular. I want to say it was like hand-holding. Was that one of them? Maybe. It was either that, or and I think... Was Wholesome one of them? I don't remember. I think Wholesome was one of the ones they removed because it was in the top 5 from the year before, but... Yeah, I don't think, They did have a few weirder ones. And God, I wish... Now that I'm talking about it, I really wish I took a picture of it. Because I really do want to kind of have it as a reference. Not that I would have the complete results, given that I was only there for day 1. I did try to go back to Yabai Market day 2, but by the time I was there, it was like 8:30, and there was already a huge line forming, and I'm just like, nah, not worth it. It's pretty much going to be the same vendors anyway, and like, I bought everything I wanted, so I'm good. But man, half of me kind of does wish that I went there just to see what the final results were. Did they ever post it? I don't think they ever. I actually do. I did follow Offkai Expo's Twitter account, so I don't think they posted it there. I don't think I saw it. If they did, I didn't see it, but I don't think they posted it. I don't know if they posted it anywhere, frankly. Kind of wish they did. I do want to see what the final results ended up being. And I'm sure they have a count somewhere, given that they probably had a count of last year's. Given that they said that they removed the top 5, so I'm sure they had a count. I don't know, maybe they, if not a count, then maybe even just like a guesstimate of like a grouping of like, oh, this is by far, like, these are like the tiers of this one had the most, this one had barely any, this one had 0. I don't think any of them had 0, but you never know. Like, everybody has... It's like UMA and, like, Pokemon and, like, any of those kind of things with, like, large roster sizes. Everybody is somebody's favorite, right? Just, like for every Oguri and Takion out there, there is a Seeking the Pearl fan, there is a Biko Pegasus fan, there's a Samson Big fan, right? Unironically, I know there's a whole joke about, oh, Samson Big stan, but, like, I'm sure there's actually probably somebody out there that is actually unironically whose favorite character is actually Samson Big, like, and they're just roiling at the fact that Cygames has just locked her in the cellar for the many years that she's been kind of in the roster from when she was announced to current day, and how she's not even in the game as a support card or like even in like any debuts or anything. She just doesn't exist. She's just only in the Star Blossom manga and in the roster somewhere, and that's it. That's the only mention of Samson Big. We don't know where the hell she is. She's for all we know, she's disappeared from the face of the earth, which is fair play. But oh, speaking of which, actually, speaking of Uma, I'm realizing that the JPCM, the final round has started about 15 minutes ago. I should check that. I will say I did not have any time to prepare for that between Offkai prep, both with the goodies that I was preparing for and the Uma competition there on the EN server. So I had no time. So literally what I did was I just used the 3 Umas that I saw on the meta tier list that were high that I liked, and I just used the first iteration of them, and that's it. Like, I literally, this is probably the least prepared for a JPCM I've been in a while. Surprisingly, I did get close to getting to A finals. I should say this, I did make it to A Group A second round, and I actually got shockingly close to getting to A finals twice. I got 2 wins twice. The rest of them were, as expected, kind of not as successful. Unfortunately, that still means a B finals, so I guess we're just gonna have to see how that went. In fact, maybe I might actually, I don't want to really stream that. I'll do that after the stream, and then I'll let y'all know in a future stream. Maybe Thursday if I stream, or Wednesday if I stream, one of those days. I guess we'll just have to find out. Yeah, you know, the more I'm thinking about it, I think I'm probably not gonna be streaming Wednesday, just because I do have to do laundry, and unfortunately my laundry machine is right next to my computer setup, so I can't have that happen. Otherwise you're just gonna hear in the background, right? It's just gonna be real, and it's gonna be annoying for me because then I can't hear anything. So we're just gonna have to, we're not streaming tomorrow. I think we'll just put it bluntly that way. But I will try my best to stream on Thursday, and I think it will most likely be the database game, finishing that up. God, speaking of future streams, I completely neglected to mention, I need to figure out the next Flong Series Friday game, because Omori is over now. So I guess I could also just do another Omori playthrough, but I don't know, I do want to move on to another game. Not that I didn't like Omori, I really did enjoy it, and I do want to go back and play some of the other routes, like the Hikikomori route and the true ending or whatever. Not the true ending per se, but the one with the cutscene. Basically, I want like pretty much all the I want to see what all the endings are like, despite the fact that I kind of spoiled myself on them by reading up on like Wikipedia's and wikis and TV tropes pages and stuff, which is always kind of a fun thing I like to do whenever I finish a game, is just read up on TV tropes and all the stuff and see what else I may have missed, and little kind of Easter eggs and stuff. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Here's the thing. So I have, obviously, there's a couple of games I have on my list. Two of them, I guess, being the Super Mario games that I've initially had on my poll when I initially started the series. So like the Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine. Those are 2 that are contenders for a Flong series. My only concern is I already did Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and I figure if I do another Super Mario game, that the Flong series ends up being a bit too Mario, for lack of a better term. So I kind of want to maybe do something else before jumping back into the Mario pipeline. There is the Libraries of Ruina, which was suggested by Gabe, which I did end up buying because it did end up going on sale. So that's another potential series. Let me look at my library, because like I said, I do have a whole bunch of games that I do want to play that are longer ones. Rain World, actually, you know, Rain World is one that I actually have wanted to play for a long time, and it's a platformer, which is a game that, which is a series that a genre of stuff that I say that I play in my in my business card, which honestly, when's the last time I played a platformer game? Does Mario count as a platformer game? Because if so, I guess it's the Galaxy games, but 2D platformer, it's been a while since I played one. So yeah, I guess I should play like one of the 2D platformers I have on my radar. So maybe we can do Rain World. I know I also have like Inside and Limbo. I don't think those are going to be as long, but those are still like kind of potential long series Friday, given that is my neighbor freaking. Oh, they're vacuuming. Okay. It's 8:20. What do you do? Why are you vacuuming at this hour? Okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm moving out in 3 weeks anyway. Do the whatever the fuck you want. Oh, the other nice thing about the unit that I'm looking at is it's top floor, so I don't have to fucking worry about upstairs neighbors, which is nice. Anyway. Yeah, no, Inside, Limbo could be ones. I mean, those don't have to be like, you know, like 4 or 5 streams worth of games. It could be just like it could just be like a 2-parter sort of thing, which I think maybe is the amount of time it might take. I could also underestimate it, so maybe not, but I guess more to come on that, but sum that all up. Yeah, I guess the next get ready for the next long series. I think it's most likely going to be a platformer game, just so I can try and not be a false advertising clickbait son of a gun, and actually play some platformers, which is the genre of game that I do say that I play. You know, in my business card, I say that I am I play UMA, I play puzzle games, and I play platformer games, and which, you know, I do play 2 of those for sure, but the third one is that's a debatable. So I need to get back into the platformer life. So let's do that. I guess Fall Guys also... Does Fall Guys count as a platformer game? Not that I really play it that often anymore, but like I do play that on a decently okay regular-ish basis, so you know, there's that one, I guess. But no, I do need to probably play more of those, especially some of the classic ones that I have not even really touched, given the fact that I haven't had a PC until like early 2025, so I'm still catching up on stuff that I need to play. But, you know, better late than never, as they say. By the way, too early to say, but I do think the just chatting tag actually was the reason I was getting so many of those bot messages. So I think that's a lesson that I shouldn't use that then, because damn, that was annoying to have to deal with. Because then that inflates my my follower count, and then I don't feel as happy about it. And it's just like, look at, sure, I got how many follows today? Like 3, 4, but all of them are bots, so does it really count? The answer to that is hell no. And then that kind of gets to the question of, well, how many of my followers are bots? In which case I can say, honestly, maybe, well, definitely way less than my Twitter proportion of followers, because I feel like 90% of those are bots, but actually, no, not even. Maybe, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, 95% of my followers are probably bots. I'm just gonna actually be upfront with that. I appreciate y'all that aren't, but it really is the whole thing of like, oh, pre-debut VTuber, and then they're the ones who are trying to like message you about stuff, trying to message you about like, hey, you want a commission, or like, hey, you want me to do stuff for you, and it's just like, if they're asking you for commission for them to do commissions, that's not even a red flag. That is a red flag with a siren on top of it, just screaming, danger, danger, danger. It's just like, no, don't, just no, wrong, incorrect. What the heck is this song? Speaking of songs, oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing with playing Holodori, is that I've actually been kind of, well, I've been mostly trying to play cover songs as much as I can. I think it's funny because this is the exact same pipeline, or not pipeline per se, excuse me, but exact same kind of progression as when I was playing Bondori, Bang Dream, because initially, when I got introduced to Bang Dream, was one of my friends was playing it, and I saw that they were doing cover. They were playing like a few cover songs and stuff of songs I knew. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. And so I downloaded the game for myself. only intending to play the cover songs, and then I was forced to play some of the original songs, and then it's like, wait, these songs are actually pretty neat. And then I slowly got into the song, and then the songs and the bands, and then that's how it all kind of fell apart in terms of my life. I'm just kidding, but no, and that's how I got into Bondori. And so I see this exact same thing happening with Hololive. Because if you may not know, with I guess my lore per se, is that I was actually a pretty vehement hater of VTubers for a long time, up until like a couple of years ago. So I just oh my god, no, ha 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 ha. Okay. And so I remember when I was playing D4 DJ, back when that was actually popular, and actually, well, not, I shouldn't say popular, back when that was actually a good game, they had a whole bunch of like, not even covers, but just original songs. And some of those songs were Hololive songs, like Blue Clapper and like all those. And I remember that I was just like, man, I really don't want to play these songs. And so whenever they pop up in multi-lives and stuff, I would just be like, nope. And then I would just immediately like quit out because I was a douchebag like that. And I see I'm running out of fuel, so I do need to fuel up maybe over here. And it's funny because I did see, and Blue Clapper was one of the songs that I did. I think that wasn't that one of the songs that was required in the main story? It was either that or, yeah, it was either that or one of the character missions I was doing. Either way, I played it and I was like, okay, well, that's good. Honestly, none of the original songs have really hit me per se in like, oh my god, this is a good song. The only instance of that really has been what's her name, Toakami Toa, and I don't even think it was her song. I think she was doing a cover song, but like I was just like, damn, her singing voice is really good, and then like her general voice is also really good. Like, wow, damn, a zam. And so I was like, okay, I guess I gotta listen to more of her songs, because it's like that could be pretty good. And there have been a couple of other songs, I think, not in terms of like the singing voice, more so the composition, because it's made by like famous producers and composers and stuff, that I was just like, damn, this is actually pretty good. I need to take a listen to this again. The funny part about that is I think the cover for Show by Otto made me want to listen to the song itself, not so much the cover, but the, oh shit, not my trailer damage, Otto. Yeah, that cover made me want to listen to the original Otto song. And I already knew about that song. It's like, dun, 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 get ready for my show, right? Like that song. I only really knew that part, like, and that's honestly still the only part that I really know. But I'm like, yeah, wait, this is actually a pretty good song. I should add this to my playlist. It's kind of opposite intended effect, given that I'm not actually listening to the cover version, but, you know, like, it's something, I guess. But yeah, all to say, when this stream is over, the things I need to do, well, one, I need to eat because I'm starting to get hungry. Two, is I need to see how I did in the Group B finals for the CM. And then three, is I need to play more Holodori. Because I'm actually almost done with the I guess the main story per se. Maybe I shouldn't say that, not done, but like the first part of the main story or whatever, I'm almost done with that, because I'm pretty sure there's more to it, right? And maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, or like, you know, confirm my suspicions, but if I remember correctly, there should be more parts to the I guess the overarching story. So definitely is going to be more, but at least for like the first part or whatever, I am getting close to being done with that. So hello. Okay, there we go. What the heck? There we go. What? I shut down my engine. Hello? Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Alright, we only got 2 hours left for our journey, so I think we're about to wrap up within the next maybe 10-ish minutes or so. So let's finish off strong, given that I damaged my trailer pretty bad. In fact, if anything, I kind of made... Well, no, it's too late now. was gonna say maybe I might want to restart and load a save pre-trailer damage, but nah, it's fine. I'll just take the hit. I'll take the hit and profit for that. That's my fault. I don't know if it was my fault, but it probably feels like it's my fault. What the heck? Hello? Use to pause. E. Enter. Yes, let's rest for 10 hours. It is now 5:59 a.m. Your boy's ready. Your boy has his hazards for some reason. Never mind, your boy's good now. And your boy's ready to make it to the final 2 hours of our destination. Okay. Wait, isn't there a repair station here? Pause. Wait, shit. Too late. Okay, it's whatever. Who cares? I was gonna say, like, if there is a repair station, maybe I want to go to that first. But I'm only 13% damaged. That's fine. I say that, but it's not a good amount because I think that's means that I won't be able to fast transport myself, but whatever. I don't need that. I don't need to fast transport. Hopefully there's a repair station near where I'm gonna drop off anyway, so I don't need to really worry too much about that. Just gotta finish the job right now. That's the biggest thing. And it's also kind of nice with this because I can discover this undiscovered road, technically, the remade road. Ah, yes, look at this beautiful New Mexico sunrise. Beautiful. Love nature. I do love me some nice nature. Both the actual term and the UMA. Man, don't you love how it's even down to the finest details of the goddamn the insurance, not insurance, sorry, the lawyer billboards. Because, man, those are definitely everywhere in highways and stuff. That is 100% accurate. Wait, did I miss my exit or something? Why is it telling me to go back? Oh, did I? Oh, I sure did. Wait, no I didn't. Oh, okay, that scared me. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss my exit? Like, no way. No way I missed my exit. I'm not that stupid. Anyway, oh, we are getting off here. Okay, we're getting off at to Kamari, which come. I have stupid sense of humor. My sense of humor is so stupid. It's like a child. Like a child. There's only one thing worse than a rapist. Boom, a child. No. Darwing. I know what that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be Boeing. It's the rip-off version of Boeing. What's a Boeing truck doing over here, anywho's? I mean, I guess it could be here, and I don't know why I'm judging about that, but... Also, why you gotta be so slow, man? Why you gotta be so slow in this one lane where I can't even pass you? There we go, now I can pass you unless you're gonna do your thing, which please don't, because I'm actually here, so please don't actually merge into this lane. I swear the AI traffic in this game has definitely gotten worse. It's just not been. It just has not been. Even though I know, admittedly, I have not been played this game in a while, I can still tell it's gotten bad. Hello, Monarch Cracks. Hello, sorry if I butchered your name. I'm just gonna call you Monarch. I think that's good enough. How's your day going? It's going good. It's pretty good so far. Got my daily boba. I shouldn't say daily. It's like I don't get boba every day. That would be way too expensive. Yeah, you know, work was usual. You know, got my tickets for the UMA live. That was chaos, but we're secure with that, and submit an application for a new apartment. Hopefully that goes well, and we'll TBD on all that. But I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling pretty optimistic for what's to come. How's your day going? Also, I'm hungry. I should say that. I'm very hungry, so it's a good thing this job's almost over. Unfortunately, it does mean that I have to end soon, but we still got an hour 24 in terms of game time, which I think is most likely going to be like 5 minutes low-key, so I think the stream is honestly about to end in 5 minutes, but it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, it's already been 2.5 hours anyway. Not that that's really a long stream per se, but I always feel kind of bad if a stream is less than 2 hours. Oh, that's a graphical glitch. Eventful day, that's good. Yeah, no, it's definitely very eventful. My day is okay. I have chickens and cleaned their houses today. Ooh, fun. I got the whole chicken coop. Damn, got here late then. Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah, normally I would maybe go a little longer, but given that it's been a little bit since I last streamed, I don't want to push myself too much. I'm still kind of recovering my throat from the events of Offkai, so I don't want to go too long. And also I do need to go to work in the office tomorrow, so I don't want to actually get a good night's sleep, given that I have not been getting a lot of sleep. Mostly to my fault. I've been staying up all night. Not all night, but I've been staying up playing Holodori because I'm like that apparently. Still in that honeymoon phase. But yeah, chickens, that's cool. Got the whole chicken coop and stuff. Is it like a whole farm setup, or is it just like is it just that for that area? Because I know there are definitely people that like have kind of like the big like yard setups that they can kind of have those like kind of little areas, so you know, have their own chickens and all that, but it's not necessarily like kind of like a whole farm and whatever. But that's kind of more, I shouldn't say rural areas, but definitely not here where I live currently, which is kind of very urban, urban Southern California for sure. Definitely, I shouldn't say that though, because there are definitely, I feel like pockets, that's kind of generalizing it. There are definitely pockets that I feel like you could probably do that, but definitely not where I live, and definitely not in other certain parts, like especially like, you know, downtown LA and all that. Definitely can't do that. It's fair I stay up way too late too. Yeah, it's hard, right? Because like I'm a night person, so it's just like I feel like I'm usually the most productive when it's like dark out, like 10, 11. I'm just like, oh, the day is only getting started, and it's just, no, you need to get some sleep. Like you need to wake up at like, you need to wake up at 7 so you can go to the office, like drive over there, and it's just like, such is life as a person working. Luckily, I don't have to go to the office all the days of the week. I only have to go 3 days a week, thanks to everybody's favorite hybrid setup. But it's still kind of annoying having to wake up on a Monday and go to the office, because that's the days that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the days that I have. So I kind of sometimes I do wish it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I can have a little bit of a buffer time. But also, it is kind of nice that you know, there is a kind of a gap of like, okay, when it's Wednesday, that's the like, not gap per se, but like that's the cutoff of it being like, okay, now it's kind of more chill hours. I have chickens and bees. I have several groups of chickens. I'm trying to mix them together. A lot of babies that need to be added to the adult groups. Oh, nice. That's fun stuff there. Yeah, I know with bees, I mean, heck, I know there's the whole thing with like the what is it? Not extinction, what's the word? Bee, I was about to say bee shortage, but that's not the term. But you get the idea, right? Yeah, the bee, endangerment, endangered species. Yeah, the epidemic. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I know that's been a thing for a while. So yeah, it's trying to be all good about that, but no, that's fun. I have never really had animals growing up, like not even pets. I think the biggest, the best that I've had in terms of that has been like pet fish, but I've never really been a pet person, and it does come back. I wouldn't say it comes back to bite me, but it definitely does feel a little bit, sometimes, because it's. I only say this because this brings up another Offkai story, and I think I just jammed myself, so that's actually amazing. How in the world am I going to do this, actually? Hold on, I have an idea. Because I was sitting... Oh, this is the story I forgot to tell about Offkai. Okay, so the Offkai story is... this was, I think, day 1. I was hungry, so I was like, okay, let's get some lunch. And so I get some lunch from somewhere, and I bring it over to where the convention center was at. Also, thanks for the follow, Monarch. Much appreciated. Welcome. watch me struggle as I try to do whatever the hell I'm doing right now. Which is struggling to drive this truck. I promise I'm usually better than this, but it's been a while since I played this game. Shit. Okay. Oh boy. But anyway, yeah, I was sitting over. You know what? Fuck, I'm starting over. I'm starting this over. This is not it. Yeah, because I just put myself in a jam there. So we are gonna start over with whatever I was trying to do there. You're doing so good with that truck, doing great. I can tell you're being very sincere and very, very encouraging. And yes, I do agree with that. I was doing so great, in fact, that I'm starting over. How long has it been since it hasn't been that long since I played this game. I should not use that as an excuse to be like, oh, this is why I suck so much. But it kind of is a valid... I shouldn't say excuse. It's a valid thing, but... Also, what is this song? F. No, wait, not F. Where do you need it? Okay, let's try that again. But anyway, back to the story. So yeah, I was at my lunch, sitting at the conventions, near the convention center at that like little outdoor area with the steps and stuff. And well, the first part of the story was I just happened to plop myself next to a person with their dog, and they were and the dog was very friendly, and you know, it's not like I'm afraid of dogs or anything, but I'm always kind of a little bit like how to handle dogs and stuff. Like I'm never really good with like being all like, oh, you're such a good boy and all that stuff. Like didn't have dogs or cats growing up, so whenever they approach me, I'm always just like a little hesitant per se. Not saying that they're not with the attitude that they're gonna like bite or anything. Like I know they're definitely most of the time friendly, but okay, well fuck me. Think you should get this truck stuck again for fun? At this rate, I probably might. Because here's my plan. I'm gonna try and I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you doing? Because I'm trying to back up here, and then oh god, is this gonna happen again? Am I gonna do this again? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yet. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then here's the plan. Okay, well that's fine. Trailer game is stupid anyway. Is that I go here, and then that way I can back myself up accordingly, hypothetically. Now, I did not give myself much room here, so I don't know how this is going to work. Anyway, sorry. This is what happens. I just keep getting into tangents. Long story short, the dog approaches me, and the owner's like, oh, you want to pet the dog? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. And then he's just like, oh, okay. And then he's like, oh, come on, boy, stay back. God fucking damn it. I don't know if you can hear the shaking of my my wheel controller as I was trying to deal with all that. But the other part of that story was I didn't realize that I was sitting next to a meetup that was happening. Like I was just like impromptu meetup, I should say. Like I was I noticed that there was like a line forming of like a whole bunch of people wearing what looked like pretty much like the same like hat or whatever, which I didn't know what it said until I looked at it closer. It said like it was hags, which is have a good summer, and obviously the joke there is, you know, the whole idea of hags. But what I realized kind of a few minutes later was that I was sitting next to Matara Khan, and she was doing a little bit of a IRL meetup there, and so that was actually pretty neat. Granted, I'm not really. I obviously know her, right? I obviously know who she is, her whole concept, who she be. But I was never really the biggest. Like, I didn't watch her streams. I, you know, wasn't really the biggest fan per se. So it was just kind of nice just being there. But I didn't get into the line or anything. But that's the thing with Offkai too. Is that's also a thing that I guess neglected to mention is that it's crazy that you know, you see all these like tweets about these pretty big VTubers being like, hey, you know, I was at the convention, and like they have a photo, and then it's like, oh my god, I was right there, or like maybe you might even be in the photo or something, and it's like, wow, it's kind of crazy seeing how like it's the running joke, right? Like, oh, everybody here is a VTuber, but it kind of feels like that sometimes, right? Where it's just like, man, everybody here probably has a VTuber model. Like the artist, that artist has a VTuber model. Like I had a VTuber model. Like I was perpetuating the joke where it's like, yes, I also stream as a VTuber, and yes, I'm also here at this convention. Granted, I think it's a bit of an exaggeration of a joke because like there are definitely people there that aren't there, that are there more as a fan than anything. They aren't actually like VTubers. Shit. They aren't actually like streamers or whatever, but I do feel like there's a pretty good proportion of people there that are streaming, and so it's just kind of cool to be in that same kind of oh, that cow is clipping. That's not good. It's good to be in that kind of environment, I guess. But no, it was awesome. It was cool. It was cool. You're trying desperately to tell the story while the truck is fighting against you. It also doesn't help that I'm just not really I'm not really the best at telling my stories, because I always just get into these weird side tangents of whatever happens between the game and also just general random shit. I don't think it's ADHD so much as it's just like I don't know. It's something, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's that bad. I know people that have some pretty bad ADHD and ADD. I'm not trying to self-diagnose myself, and I don't think I ever really would. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it's not that. There we go. It's very cool. Even if you don't watch that VTuber, it's still cool to know that they were right there, a person like you. Yeah, exactly. And I know I've seen, like, you know, Matara does a lot of, like, kind of stuff IRL, obviously, with the face mask to keep her privacy. But it's still kind of cool just knowing that, you know, she's right there and being like, oh, yeah, you know, just another person just like me. And it's just like, wow. Amazing. She's not, it turns out she's not a 8-foot-tall bug mama creature that wants to eat all of her fans, you know? Turns out that's actually not the case. Who would have thought? Who would have thought about that? Okay. Shoot, let me... Okay, well... I did say that was probably going to be the last one. And I think... Yeah, I think we're good for now. Okay, so... Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for me. As I mentioned, this is probably going to be short. This was always probably going to be... Not always. This was most likely going to be short anyway, given that... I'm getting back from like a week plus of no streams, so I think with that, let me boom and hop on over to my chance. All right. But yeah, thanks everybody who stopped on by. Hope y'all had a good time as I rambled on about basically my life, I guess. I don't know, about stuff. As I think I mentioned and I concluded, I think I probably won't stream tomorrow, given that I pushed my laundry day to tomorrow, so because usually today's my laundry day. But we'll stream, we'll definitely stream on Thursday, or not Thursday, Friday. Definitely stream on Friday with whatever game I decide with that, and then as usual with the Saturday Uma. And I'll try my best to try and stream on Thursday as a follow-up to the database detective game that I played about a week or so ago. I do want to finish. I really do want to finish that. Like, I felt really bad that I wasn't able to finish that. Granted, even if I did finish that case, like I found out later, is that there is a case later, or the case after that anyway. So, you know, it was a kind of a losing battle to begin with. But all that to say, that's more content for the future. But till then, hope y'all have a good rest of your Thursday evening, or sorry, Tuesday evening. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't usually stream on Tuesday, so I don't even know what I'm doing. Anyway, hope y'all have a good rest of your Tuesday evening. This has been Shino the Penguin, and we'll see you all hopefully in the future stream. Have a good rest of your day too. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I will definitely try with food and all that good stuff. But see you all in a future stream. Until then, have a good one. Thank you.